Good afternoon and welcome back to DR Sports for another Saturday football show with myself, AGT. And if I look to my left today, well, it's my long lost brother. I haven't actually seen him since around September times. A lot's changed since then, including his hair. It's Matty Redden in the studio.
Yeah, it's good to be back, man.
Guys, have some respect.
OG.
OG. Saturday football show OG.
It's been a minute.
Some would say this might be the best lineup on the Saturday football show. Not me. I wouldn't say that.
No, that'd be terrible.
The guest that we've had on. Disrespectful.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it. Well, you would.
You're not here often enough. You don't take the slack.
I'm here every week. But on my right, we've got Fuad. Big round of applause for you as well today in the studio.
Big ups.
Let's get the energy up. Great to have you here as always, my bro. And then to Matty's left, we've got Matisse. How are we, fella?
The big dog.
Don't go anywhere.
Do not go anywhere, as he says, for the next 2.5 hours. We've got it all, Matty.
Got it all.
All the 3 o'clock kickoffs, the goals as they go in live. We've got title chasing Arsenal away at Leicester, and we've got loads more. So make sure that you are getting involved in the comments, and of course subscribing to DR Sports if you haven't already. You'll also see we have a new channel for you guys to feast on. It's the F1 channel, On Track GP. The link is in the description to go and follow that channel as well. All the new F1 season content from next week. And then tomorrow, boys, the fight that everyone's been talking about. It's only Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, and we've got that for you on DR Sports as well from 9 p.m. tomorrow night. We've got Robbie on that one, Laurie, Nick and Kane. Do not miss that one. Any early shouts for who's going to win that one?
It's a close one.
I can't call it, you know.
I'm not sure.
Can't call it.
Jake Paul.
Change my Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Do you know what? I'm swaying towards Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
He's got the knockout punch.
The boy's got hands of stones, man. The boy's got hands of stones. When I saw him knock out Tyrone Woodley, I said, yeah, he's not just a YouTuber, is he? I think
he's got that dog in him.
He's got that dog in him. And I look at Tyson Fury, Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury on the other end. I'm like, if there's one thing I look at him, it's the lack of dog. Everything almost Tyson has, he doesn't have. I'm like, we're almost looking at him as like, he's the Greek, physical prototype. And we're like, Adonis, yeah. So it's like, oh, this guy can't lose. But I see many of them pretty looking boys lose. I feel like
Joshua and Andy Ruiz.
I feel like Jake winning is just going to provoke more drama. And I do like chaos, and I do like carnage. So if he beats a Fury,
even just any Fury, do you know what I mean? The name Fury, what that weight holds in boxing is incredible.
That name has to be changed. There's no way Tommy can walk around and call himself Fury anymore.
No,
he gets beat off a YouTuber.
But do you think if Jake Paul does win, it will change a lot of the purist boxing fans' mind about YouTube boxers?
I think he'll always have that.
A long way, I think.
They'll always set a higher bar for him
until he beats a decent.
They've accepted him though because he's good. You know what I mean? He's actually about it. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, massive fight tomorrow, and that is live on DR Sports. As I said, Leicester versus Arsenal. We've got Leeds, Southampton, Everton, Villa, which is the most played game ever in the Premier League history. Did you know
Everton,
that?
Villa.
Correct.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me, to be fair. They're like two stalwarts of the Premier League.
Maybe not for much longer. But West Ham are also at home to Nottingham Forest. That's a massive game, that is, by the way.
So is Leeds Southampton.
By the way, Coventry winning 2-1 at home to Sunderland as well in the Championship. You were saying earlier you wanted Sunderland to get up, even as a Newcastle fan.
Yeah, fancy the derby. I've missed it. It's been a while since we had the old derby. I want to bring it back. Bring it back so we can smash.
Yeah, I was going to say.
There's no competition.
Bring it back now that you got the money, the quality, the manager. Yeah, bring it back.
The levels are different, man. Newcastle fans today are travelling to Wembley. Sunderland fans have travelled to Coventry. So
that is the difference.
What's the recent record been like in that derby?
It wasn't great, because before they went down, they won like 5-6 in a row, didn't they? Canio's knee slide. Because that was a terrible.
So there's a lot of get back. You need to get on.
I'm going revenge, mate.
We're going to get into the lineups very shortly. 25 minutes away from kickoff, but a little stat on each game for you. Leeds striker Patrick Bamford has scored 3 Premier League goals against Southampton, including his first ever strike in the competition, whilst at Middlesbrough. In May 2017, he's been around the houses, has Patrick Bamford. Only against Villa has he scored more. Let's go to Arsenal. Now, this is not a good sign for Arsenal fans before this game. Leicester striker Jamie Vardy has scored more Premier League goals against Arsenal than any other opponent, 11. However, he scored just 1 in 23 Premier League appearances this season, has failed to find the net in 3 against the Gunners. So a bit of a contradiction there. Cheers for the stat man on that one. Everton versus Villa. Ollie Watkins has scored in each of his last 4 Premier League games. No Villa player has ever scored in 5 consecutive appearances in the Premier League before. Whereas Chris Wood, your old mate, for Nottingham Forest, scored his first goal.
Did big
against
goal.
Man City, great goal.
Couldn't miss. Great
finish. They all count. He has scored more Premier League goals against West Ham than any other opponent as well. There you go. So then, let's get into the comments. A super chat from Sheriff. AGT and Matisse looking sad. It will get better. Smile, guys.
I think I just seen why Matisse.
It's a good Saturday football show, mate. I don't even know what you're talking about. I do. But
now I'm sad again.
I just seen why Matisse is sad as well. I just seen RB Leipzig 1-0 up. Timo Werner 6 minutes in, goal scorer.
Him getting a free kick 25 yards out is basically.
I didn't even see that. I was looking at the Southampton goal. Now I've got 2 reasons to be sad. Jesus Christ, what are you looking at? There's a goal being showed of James Ward-Prowse sticking it past Kepa in home defeat. You're looking at Timo Werner scoring against Frankfurt. 1-0 inside.
You need a goal scorer, mate.
Ward-Prowse as well. Ward-Prowse 2 goals away from breaking that record. David Beckham's most goals ever scored from a free kick in the Premier League.
Man. How Liverpool haven't sniffed around him, I don't know.
Anyone, mate?
No, leave him alone, please. You lot want him to go from Southampton legend, free kick master, to all of a sudden 20 minutes at the last day of your Premier League game.
Start, mate.
Leave him alone.
What are you on about?
Leave him alone, please. He'd
team.
start for about 6 months and then he'd go and break the bank someone else. Ruben Neves or one of these guys. Please, I've seen you big clubs do this.
James, get on.
Are you because of Lallana, Ricky Lambert?
I've seen this coming from the guy.
Nathaniel Clyde.
Leave those guys alone.
They take good, loyal Premier League players.
What did you say? No, I didn't catch that.
Coming from the guy whose team has ruined the careers of Yves Bissouma. And many more.
He's in it 6 months.
Wow, look at him now. Exactly. Can't get us out for long.
So we're coming back.
The lineup is goated today, says referee Javonte.
Come on.
Technically agree with that. It's a very good panel today.
Great name as well.
Potter's #1 fan, Matisse from Ashby.
Cool.
What do you make in the serious now?
Of the madness.
Make about the death threats?
Yeah, I mean, this is why when people are asking me to like scream Potter out at the top of my, are you mad? This is why when people are asking me to scream Potter out at the top of my lungs, like some sort of, early morning hen, I'm just not going to be on it because I don't feel like it's actually constructive. At the end of the day, I'll give my opinion, but he's not going anywhere. So now you have to get behind the team. You have to support. That's what we are first and foremost, as supporters, then content creators, then whatever way you want to do it. But at the end of the day, we need to beat Tottenham, and all of the questions in the media, all of the death threats to his family. Then when I heard it was his kids, I was like, wow, there's some scum on this planet. Like, that is just ridiculous.
Chelsea fans for you?
This guy, him and his agendas. I swear to God, after they tied up Steven Gerrard and wouldn't let him leave his house, and they want to talk about, man.
Don't make me dig into your archives.
Egg in his house and that. Do not leave.
Oh, we did worse than that. Did a lot worse.
Care to explain?
No, that's another stream. Allegedly. No, but seriously, obviously, we don't condone that at all.
I like that he was showing a bit of crack in his press conference.
Like that.
Yeah, that was funny, man. It was off to a great start.
Sorry, guys.
He was like, just come off a crisis meeting. I love that. I love that.
The funny thing is, though, he's not joking.
No, he's not.
He's not.
That's the thing. I'm like, do you want him telling that though?
He was like, and they were like, how did it go? He's like, I'm still here, aren't I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just about.
But do you know what? It's quite refreshing because all that BS that he's been receiving, rightly or wrongly, obviously the death threats are way too far, but for him to just joke around,
give a bit of jokes,
you walk into a press room conference, they're all vying for your blood, you make a joke like that,
calms everybody down.
It's a bit of a nicer atmosphere.
Because
you've got to go, because these guys are out to sack you basically, who are asking you questions every week.
They literally said to him that you are statistically the worst Chelsea manager in history. How do you feel about that? Or the fans are calling you the worst manager in their history. How do you feel about that?
I
do feel sorry for him sometimes because you can see, it's like when you got that friend back in school and they're the quiet kid and they got good intentions, good heart, they got a couple jokes like he's just made there, but they very keep themselves to themselves, and you see them getting absolutely destroyed by one of the more confident, confident loud kids, and you're just like, poor Jimmy, man. That's just a shame.
Jimmy don't need that. I think obviously the fans are going too far, but I don't know, man. I feel like with Potter, he's always going to have critics no matter what, if that makes sense. While he's at Chelsea anyway, the magnifying glass is bigger than it ever has been, I feel like, and he's just kind of, I feel like, not take it on the chin, but they realise that there is always going to be that kind of thing in the background at a bigger club like Chelsea. But I do think some of the fans, when it does get to that level, even when players talk about like missing a penalty or something and they're getting death threats or racial abuse, you just think
it's crazy.
This ain't where the game needs to go. Do you know what I mean?
People are being dehumanized in this sport, like,
and that's
crazy.
the thing. I think sometimes on social media, that's what it allows. It allows almost people to just get behind this kind of account, faceless account, dehumanizes everything. They're like, hey, these people are, what do they call it nowadays? NPCs. So it's
there's no justification for it. Like
100%.
This guy could get us to finish 15th.
Relegated.
Yeah, and it's like relegated. Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'll be pissed, and you need to be sacked. Do you know what I mean?
For the job, judge him by his performances.
We'll be back next year. I'm going to be sitting on this show next year talking about, away to Millwall, the Den, let's go. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and that's the thing is with
you support
fans,
your football club.
With fans, I think I always say, like, you should criticize what you see on the pitch, but you can't criticize what you don't see off the pitch, if that makes sense. You can't criticize a person's character, personality, what they do on the training ground. We don't see this person on a day-to-day. We only see 90 minutes on a Saturday. Do you know what I mean? So you can judge that 90 minutes and say, look, he's not doing a good enough job in A, B, C. But when you start getting family, mum, children, crazy, you're just a sick individual, man.
Great comments today, by the way. It's the best panel. Bants and Fun says Dimebag. Crunk King 232 says Matty Renton, Geordie accent. We hate Manx. Says no Manx again. Big up to you. Matisse Pigeon Chest from Ash B.
That wasn't a super chat.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Just a jab.
I got the live chat right here. I got a live chat. I'm looking at the live chat.
But when Matty's here, you know that.
And then these guys are reading stuff that.
I get you, don't I?
Defamation of character. Not even a super chat. It's crazy.
Matty, we're going to Wembley, says Tendy item.
Absolutely. There, baby.
AGT and Matty, read that one out already. Fuad, why no Bellingham and Saka in your under 23 list?
Mate, I saw this. This is on Big Up Sharky and the SDS boys. That's on their podcast. They did a top 10 under 21 players. And I completely left Jude Bellingham off.
That's a howler from yourself,
I messaged the group chat last night when I was like, oh my God, Bellingham.
Did the comments kill you?
I would have had him top 5 easily.
Did the comments kill you?
Yeah,
both
at least.
I'm just letting you off because you're the senior player.
I think the Saka one is safe to say. People know why. Obviously, agenda purposes.
So there's bias behind this.
A little bit of shameless bias behind that one, I won't deny. But Jude Bellingham was a genuine gaffer. Even me, I was like, yo, you know what? I'm disappointed in myself for that one.
So wait, that got uploaded in the comments?
Yeah. And the comments weren't too bad, to be fair, because there was a lot worse shouts. I saw someone put Darwin Núñez number 2.
That was Fuzi, innit?
I knew it. Fuzi.
The next Suarez.
That brother, man, he is content gold.
Listen, he tried to say someone. I said, no, I will say your name. I know exactly who you are.
Do you know he had Jude Bellingham number 1 as well? So it was
of course, all the Liverpool target, Liverpool players. Nah, man, I knew exactly who that was. I can smell it. I can smell it from here, man. I can smell it from here. I already knew where it was.
No, man.
I love it.
Good fun though, man.
Tina says Karius in goal for Newcastle. And the last time Karius played a final, his team lost. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah. Can Michael Carrick take Middlesbrough this season? So hang on, how have you gone from
2 different topics?
Having to go at me and here.
Trying to get 2 super chats in one.
Look forward to it tomorrow. Thank you very much as well. Don't go anywhere, says Mo. Big up to you. Was Matisse Jimmy, says Crunk King.
I played many roles in my childhood. I like to think I played all positions if I needed to. Yeah, 100%. I like being the villain.
There you go.
So it's nice being the popular kid at times, but I feel like being the villain everybody hates. That is just
the Costa of the playground.
There's nothing better.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
Fair play.
A whole crowd of people chasing you. Mwah, beautiful.
You can tell he's grown up on Jose, you know. I swear to you, you can just tell.
The panel is always better when Matty's around.
Oh, cheers, mate.
There you go. AGT says into your nan. I appreciate you read people's comments even when they don't pay you. This is the kind of guy I am.
Mix it up.
This guy only reads out super chats.
I just don't read out slander of the guests. That's all it is, you know.
I wouldn't call that slander. We can get that up as well if you want. By the way, rest in peace to John Motson, OBE as well, by the way. Incredible legend in the game, has been going for 55 odd years. I've actually got a bit of a John Motson story. I tweeted it the other day. But he used to be friends with my mum. They met at an event in the 80s or whatever. And he was doing a book signing, and I went. And I got my book signed by him. Ended up getting his number. I said, I'm about to go to uni to study journalism. Can I interview you? And he said, yeah, no worries. So I had his number at a point, and I interviewed him like twice. this is the kind of guy he was. He just wanted people to do well.
Yeah.
But then after a few drinks one night, unfortunately at university, I must have slipped that I had his number. And then I was peer pressured into making a 3 a.m. prank call, pretending to be Michael Owen. Yeah, going, "You're right, John?" And he's going, "Who's this?" And I was like, "It's Michael Owen." And I said, "You don't mind just running through that commentary again of that goal against Argentina in '98, please? That'd be great, really." And he went, "What?" And then just hung up, basically. So I'm sorry, John, but rest in peace, because you're a legend. You're a top guy. But yeah, maybe it was.
Amazing that story.
Yeah, it was a good story that.
Animate that one
before phone. Well, I'm not that old.
When did you go uni?
82. Tough game at Wembley. This isn't the Manchester United we played in October, and we aren't playing well, says Newcastle fan Jack Burton. We will preview this in full detail, by the way, later on in the show. But how do you respond to that one?
Well, it's true. I mean, Man United red hot form. Newcastle just drawing every game that comes by, apart from unless it's against Liverpool, the only team we lose against. But this is a final.
Yeah,
look.
cheers.
Final, one off. Take a derby game in it. Doesn't matter. Anything can happen. Newcastle for the win. We'll get into it.
Are we all Geordies tomorrow, by the way?
Every single time.
Fuad?
Look, he's thinking about it.
I prefer not to speak.
He doesn't want Newcastle to start winning trophies.
If I'm going to speak, I'm going to be in big trouble.
Hold on. Long-term hate.
No, he's not. He's not thinking clearly. He's not.
Yeah,
because when Cams rocks into the studio after a win,
think of that.
Of a trophy. What now?
Look. People need to understand, if Man United win, it's just further backs the beliefs I had of Ten Hag. When nobody knew about Ten Hag.
What do you get out of that?
I was telling people about Ten Hag, Lisandro. The thing is this United team, I look at it sometimes and I'm like, it's almost a dream team. I was saying Spurs.
All them players, Martinez, everyone.
Every single one. You go through the line, I'm like, bro, these are the guys. And the thing is that was when we were
validation on your opinions. I hear it.
That's all it is. And the thing is, as I've always said with Newcastle, we keep doing that. Oh, Newcastle, they're the nice new team. Listen, Matty, it's don't worry. Like you lot being in the top 6.
Ignore this salt.
I'm telling you, you're all
oil brothers. Oil brothers.
Yeah, oil brothers hype.
I did the same with Man City.
Brothers hype. Watch, I give it 2 years before you all hate Newcastle. And
you're right about that.
No, I'm telling you. So don't start crowning them now. You remember City when they first won their first Carabao Cup? You wish you'd push that back a little bit more?
All right, well, listen, we'll get back into this. As I said, a lot more to come.
Careful what you wish for, man.
Here.
Careful what you wish for.
Big up. Right, let's get into the lineups for the teams. As we know, Arsenal away at Leicester. Who have they started, Matty? This is a massive game, this one.
Ramsdale in net, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel and Zinchenko at the back. Jorginho starts in midfield with Granit Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli and Trossard on the wing.
Trossard getting a start.
Big start in a big game.
Let us know how you react to that one, Arsenal fans. And let's see how the home team line up for this one as well, if that's on the screen for us too. Is it? Or am I going to have to look it up myself? No worries if so, because we can fill time on this show, no problem, if it's needed, and I'm still doing it now. Right, let's see the Leicester lineups then.
It's up now.
There we go. Ward in goal, Castagna, Sutar, who's had a decent start in Leicester colours. Face, 2 goals for Liverpool already this season for him. Christiansen, Dewsbury Hall, massive fan of him, by the way.
Yeah.
Big fan of Dewsbury Hall. And Didi Tete, again, decent player. Prate, Barnes, and there's no Jamie Vardy. It's Iheanacho, who's on a hot run of goal scoring form at the minute. Any early predictions for that one? Obviously, if Arsenal win this one, they go further ahead on top of that table, and it further reignites or strengthens the argument that this is theirs to lose now.
3-0 Arsenal.
3-0.
I mean, Zinchenko's captain as well, which is insane.
Big move.
I mean, that's his first. He's only just come through the door, but we've seen all of the backstage, leadership. Legendary vibes from him, talking up, jeering up the players, and that's probably an underspoken thing that Man City have lost. Him and Fernandinho.
Facts.
Yeah,
I think hugely, and I think even when you see how young he was captaining Ukraine, I remember that was the first time when I thought, this guy's not even a regular at City, but how is he captaining his country? And they had like a lot of experienced players at the time, but it shows his mentality and character. And I think at City as well, the fact that Pep constantly relied on him showed that this is a guy who, no matter what, he will deliver. And I feel like one of the biggest things, improvements this season, Arsenal, has been the mental side. I think winners like Jesus, winners like Zinchenko walking in, giving them, look, last year you had the ability, you had the youth, you had the vibrance, we're going to bring that little bit of seniority, that kind of winning mentality. I think he's done that now. And captains today? We'll see.
I think Leicester will score late, but I think Arsenal will win.
Yeah, I'll go along with
that.
2-1
Arsenal. Yeah, 2-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal. Right, let's go into the most played ever game in the Premier League history. Everton versus Villa. Matty.
Yep, back at Goodison Park for Dyche today. Pickford in goal, Coleman, Cody, Tarkowski, Mialenko at the back, Iwobi, Decore, Gay, Onana, McNeil in midfield with Neil Maupay all up top on his ones.
Oof, a decent bench though for Everton there. A few names that they can bring on.
Yeah, Gray is always decent to bring on. Mina, surprised he's not starting. Davies, young Sims who's trying to get into the team. Bit of a unit, no Calvert-Lewin as always.
As always.
That guy, like.
Well, even when he is playing, he's not playing. Aston Villa, though, they'll be looking to get back to winning ways. 3 losses in a row for them.
Emi Martinez in goal. Obviously had a bit of a howler last week. Needs to recover from that.
Was that karma coming back round?
I think so.
Him? I think
what goes around comes around, you know. These things are real in life, I think. Cash, Konza, Mings, Digne at the back. McGinn, Douglas Luiz, Kamara and Ramsey in midfield with Leon Bailey and Ollie Watkins up front, who's on good form at the minute. Watkins. Yeah,
Buendia on the bench. Ashley Young still knocking around. No Coutinho in the squad today, which is interesting for Villa.
After he was back with his best last week.
He was. I certainly was. Leeds versus Southampton. This is a massive game at the bottom of the table. It really is. How did they line up today? Massive game for these.
New manager took charge today, yeah, for Leeds.
Garcia? I think so, yeah.
First game for him. Interesting to see that.
Who didn't do too badly, actually.
Nah,
he was one of the best Watford in that period when they sacked all of them.
It's tough to remember which one's which.
They sacked him.
I know.
All formed into one, didn't they?
I've seen a lot of
but he was one of the good ones.
I think that's a good appointment, yeah.
I do.
Because he steadied the ship with Watford. He did well in the Liga. Yeah. Top 10 finishes. But he goes with Melier in goal, Aylan, Koch, Voba, Firpo at the back, McKennie, Adams, Aronson, Harrison, Notto and Bamford back in the lineup. Interesting how Bamford gets on, never fit. And then Bazzuno, Maitland-Niles, Bednarek, Bella Kotchap and Perot for Southampton. In midfield of Stuart Armstrong, James Ward-Prowse, Lavia and El Yunusi, and Sulomana and Onucho up top. I've never heard of those two strikers before.
Yeah, same. When we played them
this is the team that beat Chelsea away.
I didn't recognise half their team.
Onuachu, Nigerian striker. Batting it up in the Belgian league.
Yeah. Just signed in January.
I think just signed in January. Yeah. So I think they've been missing goals massively. So he should be coming in, someone physical, big. So could be a problem.
There's a lot of PMP in that team.
Yeah. They needed it because the likes of Adam Armstrong and stuff just aren't good enough, man.
No.
He's not going to score goals to keep you up.
Shea Adams and it's almost like what they did was they went to the Championship to try and get players who were
next up,
killing that level, potentially could step up,
Vardy's,
like a Bowen for example. But they haven't really been able to with both Shea Adams and Armstrong.
Yeah. Down to West Ham then. Another massive game at the bottom of the table there. Relegation clash between West Ham United and Nottingham Forest. Fabianski in goal, Kufal, Agbona, Agued and Johnson at the back. Suchek and Rice, the midfield two protectors. Benrahma, Paqueta and Bowen as a 3 behind Danny Ings. That team should be nowhere near relegation battle, by the way.
Especially with that bench as well.
Hell no.
Scamacca, Cresswell, Fornals, Antonio, Lanzini, Areola, Emerson, Kera.
Yeah,
that squad on paper
really good.
There's injuries to that team as well. Cornet's injured, isn't he? Cornet from Burnley still injured
Christmas
as well.
Tree formation here for Forest.
Forest with the looks more like a Christmas pudding, Mike.
Yeah.
Navas, Williams, Worrell, Philippe and Lodi at the back. Frula, John Joe Shelvey and Jack Colback. 2 ex-Newcastle players, like FIFA 14 this. Johnson and Gibbs White behind Chris Wood.
Another former
Newcastle player, thankfully.
Player. Bit of, but again, look at their
Gibbs
bench.
White on the... Gibbs White up there, but yeah.
Jack Colback.
Lingard, the bench.
Dennis.
Mangala, Surridge, Dennis.
Emmanuel Dennis was banging in goals last year.
Andre Ayew.
Can't start for Nottingham Forest.
Andre Ayew.
He had a flash period at the start of the season where he scored about 5 or 6 and then he just dried up in the second half. Do you remember?
Sar was good as well. Sar's in the Championship now, isn't he?
Sar's another decent one.
Is he still in the Championship now? Because he was a good player.
Yeah. Failed a medical somewhere last
like
Johnson and Gibbs White.
Aye.
Low-key becoming one of my favourite duos in the Premier League, I'll be honest with you. I think them two standout players for Forest this year.
Well, there's your lineups for all the 3 o'clock games in the Premier League. We've got 4 for you, and of course we'll also be looking at the Championship, League 1, League 2, because why not?
Why not?
A bit of Vanarama National League in there as well for you, plus all the European games as well. For instance, Espanyol have just beaten Mallorca 2-1. What an away day Mallorca would be, by the way.
Oh man, sensational.
Even Ibiza, what an away day.
I'll let you know next year, mate. Conference League sentence.
Ibiza, Tenerife, Mallorca.
Nice. I'm going to Tenerife in a couple of weeks. I'm actually going to go and watch them play. Rafa Benitez used to manage them in like 2001.
Oh, is it?
And he signed Luis Garcia. He got them promoted to La Liga, and then he brought Garcia to Liverpool with him.
What's the little islands that are not in Spain?
Cazorla's
from there.
The Canary.
Is it Canary?
Lanzarote and that, Gran Canaria.
Yeah. They're close to Africa.
My dad lives in Tenerife.
Boiling
it's
there.
4.5 hours.
Is that where Tenerife is, basically?
Yeah. In that.
You're just like, why is it so hot? You're like, because when you're...
And they really want independence from Spain. They hate Spain.
That ain't Spain, man. You're in a different continent.
But Tenerife have to travel. Get on this.
So Cazorla will be African?
Well, technically not, but if they had their own way, they would be Tenerife. but they...
David Silva will claim you as well.
They play in the championship equivalent. They play in the championship equivalent, and they have to travel to Spain for every away game.
That is crazy. That's what I was thinking there as well. When you said the teams, I was like, yo, if you...
Las Palmas as well.
Yeah, they're islands, aren't they?
Yeah. There you go. They're decent.
Regularly in
they
La
used to have a player called Momo AGT.
Must be nice.
With the dots in between the AG is mad. I might buy that shirt.
Tenerife had Ayoze Perez as well. Newcastle signed him for 1.3 million. Sold him for 30 million to Leicester. Good business.
And he's just gone to Betis as well.
You sold him to 30?
30 million to Leicester, yeah. Like 2017. Ayoze Perez.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
30?
That was when money was stupid in the Premier League.
Clever.
Don't remember that money.
Bro, guys like Willock were getting signed for 40 million. It was the fees, I remember.
Iwobi was big as well.
2015 to like 2019, the Premier League was... Mid-players were going for like 40 plus.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is going on?
Pre-COVID times, it was just like...
COVID almost brought a...
Calm down.
Let's settle down, shall we?
Did you see that Betis now as well?
He's just gone to Betis, but he was born in Tenerife. One of the locals. Matisse, if Jorginho walks out to a guard of honour when we face you at the end of April at the Emirates, how would you deal with that? Asked EK.
Listen, I've had flights booked for Ireland for a while now. If certain things happen in this Premier League season, then that's just going to make me just make a few adjustments on the dates. That's all it is. So yeah, it's fine. Money
doesn't sound fine.
You're going into rural Hayden, are you in Ireland?
Bro, I would be... it's one of the worst things that you can imagine if that was to happen. Yeah. I'm not even gonna play around. That would be awful.
James Bond saying Bruno Guimaraes is in the building.
Yes, he is. Joel in this one, actually. I had this before Bruno arrived.
You did. I can vouch for that.
2019 sentence.
You definitely did. Up the tune for Sunday from BW, the Liverpool fan.
Let's go.
As you said, the only team that has beaten you twice this season.
Yeah, brilliant.
Cheers. Come on, you Spurs, says David Bowles. Where's the Geordie lad been? Nice to see him, saying Willie Mo Fire. Have I been baited? Willie Mo Fire? No, I don't think I have.
I mean, the best way to find out if you've been baited is to say it again.
No, I've said it twice now.
Geordie's been in Newcastle.
Yeah, living up, local thing.
Tell us what your plans are for this weekend, because we're 1 minute away from the 3 o'clock kickoffs. But in terms of content and just taking it in, because as we say, one of the biggest weekends in your fan life.
The biggest so far, absolutely. Fan-wise, content-wise. So after this show, heading down to Trafalgar Square, where there's going to be tens of thousands of Newcastle fans just going absolutely mental.
What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
What could go right?
Central London. So yeah, doing a bit of live there with Sky, doing bits for the Magpie channel, interviewing the fans, see how they're feeling ahead of tomorrow's game, enjoying a couple of beers, Sunday, early
Drink
start.
responsibly.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Sunday, early start at Box Sport Wembley, hosting the Newcastle fan zone for that. So that's going to be
nice. Lit. That is, trust me, I did it last year when we beat Chelsea in the FA Cup final. But that was the best day of my career in terms of you're going to be of all your people. Yeah. And God forbid if you win.
I went to the Carabao.
I'm not even prepared.
London's going to be a mess.
Scary.
Yeah, you're so scary. The way you're not prepared for what you're going to see tomorrow.
No, you're not. I went to the Carabao Cup final last year.
How did that one go for you?
Well, they both went the same way.
Yeah. Liverpool win.
Lucky, by the way, because that was the Lukaku goal that didn't. Remember the Lukaku goal that didn't count because you guys paid them the officials offside. So we should have won that game, but it's fine. I went to that game and honestly, the atmosphere was insane. Liverpool fans on their side, all their flags.
Were
unreal. It was unreal. Even walking down Wembley Way, the hatred between both sets of supporters.
I got caught up in it with James Redmond. We got dragged by police saying, "Stay out of it." We're like, just
You really like, because with Liverpool, Chelsea, I feel like you guys have come back to the top when we were kind of like falling off now, and when you weren't there. So
We've both just done this.
Yeah. So I haven't felt that since the Champions League clashes. Yeah. And then when I went down Wembley Way and I saw like the Scouse was giving, I was like, hey, I want some of this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it was mad. It was mad.
Give him a TC, get carried out.
Getting carried by like 100 Scousers.
Look good.
Yeah.
That was a bro.
Matisse there.
Can I see?
Crowd surfing. You know he's getting carried out.
Oh, that's nice of him to throw him over the fence. No, we don't appreciate that, of course. Toby Larone, good name. Toby Larone. Is Matty Kippen in the studio? Save a fortune on hotels.
I could have actually. I should have, shouldn't I?
Sofa over there.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah.
Where are you going to stay?
Got an Airbnb on Wembley Way, mate. It's class, like.
Fair.
Mate, your gaff is going to be the party gaff tonight and tomorrow.
Nah.
I might actually get round. Serious. Could be a madness.
Spanish guy's going to be devastated the way his apartment's left when he comes back. Like.
He should have fought a little bit.
He
didn't even realise the game was on.
Yeah, he didn't use his brain with that
Spanish guy that
one.
owned the apartment, he was like,
Didn't think.
oh, so what are you doing this weekend? I was like, well, you see them massive green banners everywhere. Want to take Carabao Cup final? Yeah, bit involved in that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He was like,
He could've put the price right
it's a game
up.
this weekend, eh?
Yeah.
Did he even price it at that?
No, it
I
was
was gonna
140 for 2 nights.
You are
mate.
cheating.
He's
taking.
No, you're
would've
taking
paid
the
that
piss.
each
advantage of
night.
that.
I booked it well in advance.
On Wembley Way.
fair.
He didn't
on
look at the
Wembley Way,
dates of the cup final thing. Let me rise them
Dumb,
prices.
That's why you get a flat in Wembley Way, to do that.
Exactly. Nah, he's obviously got too much money. More money than sense.
More than any company.
Yeah, more money than sense. Yeah, he doesn't need the money.
Big him up anyways. Thank you for the hospitality this weekend.
Yeah, it's just a shame about the ticket price.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, to
another
be fair,
story.
you definitely would like to save on accommodation after what we saw with the ticket.
I might sell the apartment on, just keep it here. Any Newcastle fans?
Yeah, you should.
Got
You
this
should.
apartment.
Mate, the team would probably
500
stay
quid.
there.
Yeah, I've got somewhere to stay.
good.
Yeah, let's get that $2,500. Let's go.
Absolutely. Teddy Item saying, AGT, please give some of that Liverpool Wembley luck to Matty. There you
Go
go.
off, mate. I hope so. We could need it.
Rubbing it on him.
Yeah.
Pause. Space bar. I'm down tomorrow. Going to be awesome. It is going to be an unbelievable day, isn't it? Down there at Wembley. Are we all Geordie? Let us know in the comments who you're supporting tomorrow. If you are a neutral, do you go along with Fuad or any of us guys? I'm
Why
going for Newcastle.
I'm not playing these games. Listen, man.
Just come on.
Geordie,
you know who you want to win.
Would you rather bet the devil you know sometimes than the devil you don't?
He's going to be there
That's what
though.
I say.
Imagine if it's fake now.
If it's what?
If the ticket's fake now.
Oh, I've got it, mate. It's legit.
Oh, sound.
Well, I don't know. I haven't scanned it yet.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. We'll find out.
It's all right.
It's got a little shiny bit
Otherwise,
in
I'll
the
be
corner.
back in the studio with you. No,
Yeah, exactly. Right, the games have kicked off, people. We are underway. Arsenal with a decent start away to Leicester. I think Robbie's down there. We've got Cecil there as well. So make sure you go on to AFTV. It'll be gold whether they win or lose, to be fair, after that one. After you saw Ty getting involved last week with the Aston Villa fans.
What happened there? Because I still haven't watched that
So-
fan cam.
Apparently they were taking his hat off and doing,
I need
like,
to see
running
that now,
away
watch
and
later.
all that stuff. So he reacted to that by saying, "I hope you get relegated." It's a great watch.
That line from him is iconic now.
He said they're the worst team in the world, etc. So there you go.
He's wished so much relegation
So
on
you
so
got
many.
He
Aston
has.
Villa, worst team in the world. Neil Maupay, worst player in the world.
Oh, there you go. I hope
like
that I get relegated.
I like
Passionate
that.
Tie save to watch later.
Save.
I'm going to
How
enjoy
many views is that?
68,000.
Nice.
I'm going to enjoy that.
Absolutely,
mate.
get on it, mate. Right, let's talk about Arsenal whilst they're playing. Bukayo Saka has a new deal. He just penned a big boy wage, 200 grand a week. I think it's an increase of 130k per week. How big a deal is this for both him and the club? I heard Ian Wright saying, what would he prefer, Arsenal win the league or Saka signing a new deal? And he said Saka.
No.
From what I saw.
Listen,
on
I
the
don't
video.
know about that.
But
That's
how
a bit
big is
mad.
it for him? Because this is puts him
shocks
in
me.
that next bracket now of, you know, I've got a big deal. I'm maybe the biggest player at the club now in terms of wages.
Star boy.
What's the future for them both
That's
now?
what that contract has said now, because I think Martinelli signed the new one just a couple of weeks ago, 180 grand a week. I think this new generation
for
of
Martin.
players that they're bringing through, the older guards, Martinelli, Saka, they're saying, you are the new leaders, you are 22, 23, we'll sign you on long-term deals, and you're essentially the new frontier. Saka's the leader of that, so it's only right, and the way he's been playing, the way he played at the World Cup, Euros last
did he
year.
get? What wage did he get in the end?
200 grand a week.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, I think he's earned it.
Yeah.
I think that's
I'll be honest with you. I think even when they were
I'll tell you what, they're in here.
Even when
Saka, it's a corner.
Even when they were 8th, he was the only one kind of still trying to carry the club. Now that they've stepped up a level, he's still the one kind of leading the way. And if anything, stepped up another level. So, listen, you can't be mad at it. The only thing I would say is I would say maybe you should look for a move. But I think the position Arsenal's in now, the position he's in now, see this contract out, and maybe at 25, 26. Push, a Madrid move maybe. You know what I'm saying? If you're still playing at this level, maybe a Man City move. You know, every Arsenal player goes there at some point.
He's in a perfect situation.
We're not looking at Newcastle now, but you're right. Newcastle maybe.
He's in the perfect situation right now because he's at the perfect age. And the average age of that team's young, so they got potential. He's in a title race, and it's like establish yourself
to commit to it for sure.
Establish yourself. See where the club goes if they are ambitious. If they're not, don't do a Harry.
I think
don't sign again.
18 months ago, for example, he was right to stall.
No, do go somewhere.
I think he's been right to stall over the last 18 months or so because they've wanted him to sign a new deal for a while, I think. But I think similarly, he was just seeing kind of where the club goes, and now that they're actually competing in this title race, if they can maintain that, because obviously I imagine you guys will give a better account of yourself. United will be much better with Ten Hag next year. They might get involved in the race next year. So it could be a one and done type of thing maybe, but then again it could be the next couple of years.
He is looking to cut in and shoot, gets his shot away blocked.
And he's been in brilliant form as well, so
Really
it's
nice
better to wait.
from us.
When you're in that
you
kind of form.
You see that move just there, I think that's the final move Saka needs to unlock to go to the top. The Iron Robin.
Anthony's been doing
the
it.
Cutting and curl up. Don't do that. Don't do that,
200
please.
goals for Liverpool.
It's called the Iron. No one calls it the Salah move.
Yeah,
it's the Iron Robin.
It's the Iron Robin.
Inevitable.
But he's in the conversation.
You're talking power, top corner,
like
bang,
bang,
Bale.
inside
Bale.
of the foot.
Yeah.
Bale at Tottenham.
At the moment, he does that. Boom, hammer it. But once he unlocks that move,
he's a bottom corner person.
I can't even deny him anymore. Man. I used to be the biggest hater. It's inevitable now, man. The kid's too good.
Yeah. I wanted him before when his contract was running out. I tried to be cheeky, but too little, too late.
I think the timing of this deal, when it is finally signed, is imperative for Arsenal. This is such a big boost for them at such a crucial part of the season. We're also hearing Saliba could be getting a new deal as well. He's very happy at Arsenal. He's saying his family loves it. That's the next question I was going to ask you. With Martinelli tied down, Saka, Saliba, you're looking at a strong spine of players there who are going to be around for a while. Is that the new frontier, and is that a side being built to challenge not just this season but for the next 5 seasons?
I remember even last year I said I think that Arsenal core that they've got there, they're probably going to have there for the next 3 or 4 years. You look at Ben White, you look at Saliba, you look at Ramsdale, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli. They'll all be there for the next 3 or 4 years. The question is what do you put around them? Because they're young. You've got to put experienced winners around them now, and I think that's what they did in the summer, for example, Jesus, Zinchenko, and you've just got to keep adding to that. But those 20 to 24-year-old bracket, all of those players in there, that's pretty much the face of Arsenal. And long gone are the days of the Ozil, Lacazette, Aubameyang. That's what Arteta's essentially come in and changed. It's that era of that final phase of Wenger, Unai overlap. I've cleared that out. This is Arteta's team now. This is what we're looking at.
It's a big sign because unlike the days gone by of losing the best players to the rivals, that's what they're trying to eliminate here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Saka signing a new deal instead of signing for City or signing for Chelsea, or they usually lose Van Persie to Man United.
And it was always running down contracts.
City, you know, losing the best players, Adebayor and stuff, so cliche. So now they're tying the best players down instead. Brilliant sign for Arsenal.
I think they've showed at their age that if you can be going on that type of winning run, we're talking about the depth needing to improve to keep you going if the rotations have to happen. But those young players have been playing every single match, basically, leading the league on a mad run. They've shown that, you know, we deserve to be, you know, leading this club years to come. It's not like as if we're talking about a 4th place here where, you know, it could be, the margins could be okay, but we need elite players now. No, you guys have, I mean, they still have to step up in Champions League level next year. But I would be surprised if those type of players don't. I'm interested to see how the Sakas and the Odegaards, how they play in the Champions League. But I'm sure they'll come out their group, and then knockouts. That's when it gets interesting.
Yeah.
I said, having missed on so many years of Champions League football, I wonder what seed they go into for the groups next year. Arsenal when they do qualify. I don't think it'll be pot 4. I don't
they
think
win the league, it'll be pot 1. Because
they were Europa League semi-final. So
it'll be pot 1.
Is it
if they win the league, it's pot 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Then pot 2 if you come after that, I think.
I was hoping maybe...
A couple of big goals to tell you about the Championship anyways. Got Millwall winning 1-0 away at Stoke, and West Brom taking the lead at home to Borough. Obviously, we talked about Carrick in the Super Chat before. Can he get Middlesbrough promoted? At the minute they are down away at Hawthorns, but he's done an amazing job. He took them from 19th to 3rd. Playing expansive football as well.
And Millwall are right up there as well at the minute.
I'm always a little bit sceptical with
We could be seeing Newcastle, Middlesbrough and Millwall back.
Bring it on.
I mean, Millwall, I don't think they've ever been in the Prem, have they?
No.
I mean, they must have been in the first division.
Yeah.
But the Premier League, I'm not sure it's happening.
I'm always sceptical on like managers like Carrick, though. Because I remember we saw that with Lampard, didn't we? Where
not really to this stage, though, I'd say.
To this level
twice, massive
playing,
jump.
But the Championship's like that, isn't it? It's that kind of league where you can win 4 games in a row and go from relegation. Yeah, you can go from relegation to playoffs.
The points difference from like 5th to 15th is like
it's
minimal,
crazy.
Isn't it?
So when I hear that kind of like, oh, he's jumped from there to that, it's the Championship. Teams can do that, and I've seen teams play expansive football in the Championship. But I always say, how do you adapt when you come up to the Premier League? That's why I'm very curious to see Companies and Burnley. What changes happens when he come up? I think he can obviously adapt to them a little bit. Carrick and Middlesbrough, I'm looking with one eye. I'm not really convinced on it just yet.
It's been a while since we've seen Middlesbrough. Fonzo Alves days, Stuart Downings.
Remember
those guys?
Didn't they come back briefly 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah.
They came back for like a year.
Oh, they did when we got relegated.
Yeah,
so 2016, 17.
It was the most.
We went down and they came up.
Unmemorable promotion because they didn't really sign anybody. They didn't spend much. It was
Bamford up front.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They came back for 1 year. I remember. Yeah.
West Brom now 2-0 up against Middlesbrough.
Wow, Daryl Dyke with the brace.
Double D.
Yeah. But yeah, Borough had times in Europe as well, though, you know.
They did. The UEFA Cup.
Semi-final of the UEFA Cup.
Gareth Southgate got them to the final, didn't he?
Yeah.
They lost to Seville in 2000.
Was he manager? Or player manager, was he?
Yeah.
Gareth Southgate?
Yeah.
No, he was just manager.
Just manager, okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember when he was player manager.
He was captain there for years, though.
Yeah.
But no, it's a massive deal for Arsenal, isn't it? Locking down Saka, who clearly is the star boy of that team at the minute. Do you know what? I was talking to an Arsenal fan yesterday, and the name Emile Smith-Rowe came up.
Where is he?
This is my question, right? So at the time when the song Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe, I was probably saying Smith-Rowe's got a higher ceiling. At the time, this is maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but with the injuries that he's had, he's been so unlucky. But it's almost as if Arsenal fans have kind of written him off out the team. I can't see how he gets back into that team.
Is he on the bench these days or what? No?
I think he's out injured.
He doesn't get back into that.
I can't see who he starts above.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't get back into starting 11. He's going to have to. He's going to have to get back onto the bench, and in those cameos, he's got to contribute. But they've signed Fabio Vieira as well.
Yeah.
We haven't seen too much of him outside of the Europa League. It's going to be difficult. I think for him, remember he was overweight at a point as well, and he needed to get his fitness back in line. So I'm not sure. The injury's definitely got a hold of him. So he's still young. It's all about mentality from here on in, really, for him. The Arsenal team that he left when he was injured and the Arsenal team that he's returning to is 2 different Arsenal teams. He left when they were like, struggling for top 4. They were in the battle, and that team's mentality was in question of how they could close deals. He's coming back into a league-leading team. Different ball game now. It's like you've been put into an icebox.
Aston Villa had a 35 million bid rejected for him as well. So maybe he could do a little loan spell somewhere at Villa, build his confidence and his form back up. Probably the best way for him, because like you've just said, Matisse, he's not getting in that team.
Where did he drop to, do you think, in the Premier League? If he was to go to a team, if he was to leave Arsenal,
probably a Villa. Villa, Leicester. Something like that. Leicester would be alright.
Brighton.
Replace Madison, maybe if Madison leaves in the summer, go Leicester for a bit.
Yeah,
it's just that injury record has been so bad for him, man. I feel for him. But there you go, Arsenal looking good because they're locking down their best players. Still 0-0 though at the King Power at the minute. Zinchenko the captain today. Odegaard not the captain today, who is the club captain. I think that's to do with the Ukraine anniversary. Maybe I think it's the blue and yellow armband that they've got today.
It's on the Archers of Wembley last night as well.
Oh yeah. So there you go, that's that. But then Kevin Phillips says he's on the bench today, so don't write him off, lads.
Kevin Phillips in the chat.
Emile Smith-Rowe, that is. Yeah, Kevin Phillips, yeah. Smith Rowe is coming in over Xhaka. No Arsenal fan has written him off from Channel Nizim. Goal scoring midfielder. The value will be there if he can perform still. And Dead Cert saying he was never overweight. This is slander.
Slanderous.
That's what the Arsenal fans were telling me, but I guess maybe
sometimes they lie.
Maybe they was slandering. I don't know. I thought he was being serious.
Another goal in the Championship, Matty.
Blackburn Rovers. Sam Gallagher gives them the lead at Loftus Road.
There you go. Blackburn also looking to get back in the Prem. QPR just got Graham. What's his name? Graham Ainsworth.
Gareth Ainsworth
as manager after 13 years or something at Wycombe.
Yeah. Emotional.
Saw the video of that. Right, we also saw this week Jamie Carragher saying that Rashford is on course to pip Haaland for the player of the season. First of all, do you agree? And second of all, if not them, who? But also, what do you think makes the criteria for being in amongst the conversation of being that player of the year?
I think the golden boot is there for the best goal scorer.
Definitely.
I think the best player needs to be the best player, as in footballer. That's my opinion.
So it's quite easy to give it.
Yeah, it's just otherwise because it's very easy to just give it to the guy that's going to score the most goals, who's going to break records. But are we going to dig a bit deeper? Non-penalty goals. Yeah. How many goals is he really? You know what I mean. End of moves. Yeah, break it down a bit. Like just say that he's got the most goals, and just to give him the best player of the year when he's going to get the golden boot anyway, which is what you give to strikers who get goals. I think it's a little bit lazy.
I think with the player of the year, the way you look at it is, as you said, you've got the golden boot, but for me it's pound for pound who makes the biggest difference to pushing their team as high as possible. So if your team wins the league, but you were the biggest needle mover in that team to win in the league, you're in place. If you're someone who your team was predicted for relegation, like a Ward-Prowse for me, is someone who I would consider. An Odegaard is also someone I would consider. Does that make sense? Like they're two different ends of the spectrum, but pound for pound, what they're doing for their team and the carry job, if you like, for me, it's almost like that's how I like to look at it in terms of player of the year. Who has done single-handedly the most for their team?
Contributions in it. Contributions to winning points.
Saka's right.
Goalkeepers should be in the shout as well. Really, do you know what I mean? The amount of clean sheets, defenders. It shouldn't, like you said, shouldn't just be like, oh, he scored 20 goals. There you go.
But I think the problem is when you're looking at that, what's the easiest metric to always measure by? Goals, assists, and goals, people are like, that he's got that contribution. Whereas with defenders and goalkeepers, is always a little bit harder to read. But
someone in the comments here, Channel Enzyme, saying Rashford was missing pre-World Cup though. Put Saka in the conversation. Toast DC, Jamie Carragher is a clown. Big up to you. Buzz Football saying it should be the player who's had the biggest contribution to his team, and the team's results matter on that contribution. And Stelios P says really simple: if United win the league, it's Rashford. If City win the league, it's Haaland. If Arsenal win the league, it's Odegaard, Saka.
I don't like that. I don't like that. If your team wins the league, it's default your player, if that makes sense. I get it if they were the biggest impactor, but then also sometimes like the Arsenal team, can you definitively say it's Odegaard who's the biggest? Is it not Saka? We were just saying 2 minutes ago. Saliba and Gabriel at the back, have they not made a big difference? Partey, we say every time he misses, Arsenal don't win. So who is the biggest needle mover? That's why sometimes I say that is more of like a team cohesive thing I look at, but then you've got to find the one that pushes it. And I always say, listen, this year it's a little bit harder, I would say, for sure. But I do think Rashford is kind of the starting to, especially with Haaland over the last couple of weeks, just having tailed off forms and goals-wise. If he does break the record, it does become a harder argument, because if you've made history, is that not the biggest case to say?
No, listen, I agree. Burnley 2-0 up at home to Huddersfield, Matty. Connor Roberts, that's a face-off between Vincent Kompany and Neil Warnock.
Great face
at Turf Moor today. Unbelievable. Big up to Yeovil. Already down to York. That's my little soft spot for Yeovil. Well, they probably will be at this rate. Let's not forget that Gareth Bale won the Player of the Year when Spurs finished 5th in 2012-13.
Well, these are things like even, right, for example, if Newcastle managed to scrape in 4th or even 5th, in Bruno Guimaraes' numbers were massive.
Facts.
There you go. Like, well, Bruno's carried Newcastle in Europe. I mean, so that kind, or Botman, or
I was just about to say,
you know. So it should be a bit more than that. Just like who won the league, who scored the most goals. There you go.
It's too easy that way. Yeah, I feel like last year that's almost what they did with like the young player of the year. Like with Foden got it because it wasn't Foden. It was like, bro, Saka, I'll be honest with you, was clearly the best young player of the year, but they went Foden. I'm like, that's when you do a disservice. Even KDB when he won Player of the Year, it was a bit like, Was he really the player of the year?
It's lazy.
Yeah, 100%. It's almost lazy award giving.
I feel like it's a very European thing to do as well. I feel like year on year Ronaldo would win it, Messi would win it. Obviously those two are massive exceptions, but I'd say like the highest goal scorers in the top 5 leagues in Europe normally win it. Whether that's right or wrong is different. We've got Beam here saying unpopular opinion, Harry Kane has had a better season than Haaland so far. Tendi Item saying Mane should have won the player of the season last year in my opinion, and he didn't obviously. Tina saying after the World Cup Rashford has scored 7 goals more than the next player, Bruno Fernandes, or Casemiro should be in this conversation as well. I think listen, we're still in February.
It's too early.
Still halfway.
Relax a little bit. I think once we see what happens at the end of the season, then
once it comes down to that
there'll be a few clear names then, won't there? You know, as we go into April, May, we'll clearly know who is up there. But listen, get your thoughts in for who should be player of the year. Again, it's early, but still get them in. Daniel Reid saying if Millwall make it into the Premier League, what's your opinion with all the problems they will bring against Chelsea, West Ham and Tottenham? Well, West Ham have got to stay in the Premier League. For starters, if Millwall were even going to play them next year.
I want the Green Street 2 to drop.
What would that look like these days, that film, if it was shot now? It just wouldn't. You wouldn't.
It'd have to be based around Millwall's comeback to the Premier League.
Yeah.
You've done the West Ham story.
If you're the scriptwriter,
give me the hardest,
film.
hardcore guys that are out there. But yes, that's the story. I'm telling you. I feel like it's almost like an unwritten football story, like it's spoken about amongst fans,
but it's not actually told.
There's a few more chapters to write.
Story's not told.
Documentary or film. That's Green Street 2. Give us that now, man.
If I was writing the script for the first one and I see Millwall doing well, I'd be like, what's old Elijah Wood doing?
Maybe a DR Sports movies first.
Could we do that?
DR Sports first movie.
Who would play who?
We saw what you did with the World Cup. We saw what they did with the World Cup.
Hey, I'm telling you,
who would be the top
even when it was your talking was it the possible tactics, bro? I'm telling you, we've seen some great clips here. The production can get in their bag. I'm telling you,
they really do make movies. But listen, DR Street, I don't know.
We need to
wow.
Little 10-minute YouTube movie.
I can imagine Alex walking down Old Kent Road just like trying to tell the story.
Your son?
Yeah, your son. I'll give it to you.
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
He's filming the day.
I have been to Millwall recently and I remember I played there, innit?
Charity match.
Blow my own trumpet, but I played there and it was, even walking in there, it's hostile, mate. Said, what's your name, mate? I said, all right, just take my money.
It's a charity game, mate.
Who's the janitor? Is a Garnacho a good shout for young player of the year, saying Hunter?
Absolutely not.
Bit more.
Time will tell.
A bit more of that.
Time will tell. Well, if he scores the winner tomorrow, then
don't say things like that. Saka's still putting things
Saka
like
still
that.
qualifies for that.
You've got to write these things.
Saka still qualifies for that.
Yeah, he definitely would. He's still young enough. No goals in the Premier League, lads.
Absolutely
bit disappointing.
nothing
The first time you've been back in 6 months, mate, and we were hardly showering you with goals.
Because all the games are super tight on there, like at Leeds, Southampton, West Ham, Forest. People are trying to keep things tight. It looks like Arsenal are a matter of time before they score. They're really breathing down Leicester's necks at the minute.
Why is the Liverpool guy in City colours, saying dark by design?
Hey, I didn't even pick up on that, you know.
Lazio, if anything.
Alex is in his fashion bag.
Get down the shop for once.
He's in his fashion bag.
As we know, 5:30 today, Bournemouth versus Manchester City. Tough place to go to, or is it?
Bournemouth, nah. Well, it depends if the crowd can get on you. It's a tight stadium.
They started the
next
season
to the pitch.
Yeah.
But City should have a problem going there.
We said that about Nottingham Forest, though.
We did.
But Nottingham Forest, to be fair, actually at home have been.
They are.
They should have beaten Nottingham 6 or 7. That was, I thought, arguably City's best performance of the season, and even in the Champions League against RB Leipzig.
First half training session.
Yeah, the last 2 games, I don't know what it is. City have not been able to score, but performance-wise, I actually think that's been their best. I think the 3 Rondo and Haaland formation is actually starting to work, and Pep has found something. This Bernardo Silva in this left defensive midfielder role, Pep's found a new wrinkle, honestly, and I think that's one thing I was saying about Klopp like earlier in the season. I think just needs to tweak and play a bit more, and I think if he's that clicks into gear now. Goodness.
I mean, everyone's expecting City to win these games, but when they don't win them, surely the pressure just cranks up on them, and the pressure on them now to win these type of games when everyone really thought that was your banker.
I'll be honest with you, there's no pressure on City. City have won 4 out of 5. 3 of the last 4 or 4 out of the last 5. Like, there's no pressure on them. For them, if anything, it's people want them to drop those points and Arsenal to win it. The pressure this season will always be on Arsenal's.
The City players, are you saying that they're not feeling any pressure to win these games?
No, of course, there is a natural... I'm not saying there's no pressure whatsoever, but that pressure to be like, we must win every single game. I think if City don't win the title this year, they can even look at it as like, do you know, all right, we go again next year. We use that as motivation. We had a good run. If they win it this year, I think it's a damning indication on the Premier League, if anything. That'll be, 5 out of the last 6. We sit here pointing fingers at, Bundesliga, Farmers League, Serie A, Farmers League. What are we?
Serie A is actually really competitive now. It's going to be three different winners in the last 3 years, with Napoli leading the way. Bundesliga is 3 teams joint on points: Bayern, Union Berlin, and Dortment.
Cool. Hey, Napoli, Union Berlin, Serie A, they could win the Champions League.
That's actually my shout to win the Champions League.
Dark horse.
I said that the other day.
Not even dark horse. I think
you don't think they're the Ajax of this year?
I think they'll win it.
You think they'll win it?
I think they'll win it.
They've got a solid defense, flexible tactical manager. Goal scorer.
Goodness me, there's been a goal at the King Power Stadium. It's been a tight game so far. Matty Renton, who scored the goal?
Leandro Trossard scores the goal. We mentioned big start for him today, and he's put Arsenal 1-0 up at Leicester.
Damn. Wow, what an occasion.
That was a corner that was whipped in, clear at the edge of the box.
It's
saucy.
What a strike from Leandro Trossard. Celebration, a little knee slide. And the old binoculars celebration. What a massive goal that is for Arsenal. Everyone is that we speak about whenever it goes in at the minute. But this looked like a game that they were on top of. But now they finally got that goal. And Danny Ward complaining a bit. They might have a little look for a potential foul, but I don't think it's a strong enough case.
It was a great finish, that right in the top corner from Trossard, edge of the area. They needed that because they were, like I said, they were battering Leicester, but not really threatening Ward too much. But now... big chance back in it.
He's come on as well. He's looked very bright and kind of almost. People have been calling for him to start ahead of Martinelli, and then today's starting obviously in the number 9 role.
The thing is with him as well.
Before
the World Cup, he was in
nightmare there, hasn't he?
Before the World Cup, he was in ridiculous form, and we talk about that Arsenal attack. At Anfield, he smashed them. I mean, it's like before we was talking about the goals being shared out by Arsenal, and obviously Nketiah now last couple of games kind of slowed down a bit. He's just going to come in now. And he's just going to collect and say, listen, it's my time to kind of lead a little bit.
It is a VAR review at King Power.
It has gone to VAR, this one. Meanwhile, Portsmouth 3-0 up at home to Cheltenham. In the comments as well, we've got Mudryk Who from Nathan.
Well, what a shrewd signing that was. Saved, 50, 60 million and got Trossard instead.
Who's already Premier League proven. The goal has been disallowed.
Ooh, hold that!
The goal has been disallowed.
Back here, Ward on...
What's happening? I'm sorry, where is the foul?
That's not a foul for me.
Not a foul.
I'm sorry, where is the foul?
No way, how can that be a foul?
I'm sorry, where is
actually a Leicester player.
Goalkeepers are flapping and being given...
anything.
That's a
Face has pushed his own keeper.
It's not a foul.
That's a terrible decision.
That is nasty.
Absolutely terrible.
Well done, ref.
Arsenal fans are going to be fuming.
Arsenal fans in the mud here in the comments.
Hold! They're going to be fuming.
How's he even went to the monitor, looked back at it, and then that's crazy to me. Like,
he really's not giving it.
Can't believe that one. I really can't.
Teta's grinning away, can't believe it.
Come on, guys, we have to go again. Come on,
guys. Come on, guys. Don't worry. Come on.
We have to fucking go. Come on, man. Use your passion and
Is
your
that
mind.
Tony Montana?
Did you just point it to your head?
Come on,
passion and your mind.
You can't do it like that, man.
Did you see the drawing?
Your passion and your mind.
Passion and your mind. We have to come together.
It's the same fucking thing, guys.
Same guys again.
The
Go
same
on.
fucking thing.
You go again, guys. Second half.
We can say fogging because it's not swearing, and that's how he actually pronounces it. White literally arm locked him, according to Braxton May. Hand holding, according to Drew Summers. New ref that's going to get fired now from Andre. Wow, I mean,
subjective.
Holding his hand, that's a new one.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that, are you?
Fair play. But there you go. No goal then for Arsenal. Half an hour in. What a time that would have been to take the lead. But no, it goes back to 0-0. Will Leicester get a bit of a bounce from this now? Obviously, it's a big buzz for the crowd of the other team when a goal gets disallowed like that.
Yeah.
For me, Leicester can't be trusted defensively.
Nah, not a chance.
They conceded against, I know they're bad at Tottenham, but they conceded goals against Aston Villa, like 4 goals. So for me, they're just too up and down, too unpredictable. Said it yesterday on the preview. I just feel like, even though Arsenal, they didn't score that.
Another goal at the King Power.
Oh my goodness me! And it's happened. What we just said, or what I just said. Will this give Leicester a bounce? It has, because they're 1-0 up now at home to Arsenal. Or are they?
Because it's back down to 0.
Hey, I'm cooking.
What's going on here?
Crazy
I'm
scenes.
trying to cook.
It's no goal, is it?
Oh my days.
Back down to 0-0.
Man sprinkled his juju out there and then they're going to do that. That's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Iheanacho with an offside goal, according to the chat here as well.
No.
Well offside, according to Reva Knight. But wow, what a couple of minutes.
That would have been, if that was a goal, that would have been perfect. After I just finished trashing Leicester for them to
it's a great finish.
Lovely little dinged finish.
Great finish from Iheanacho. How would
Offside.
they even change the scoreboard after that? Come on.
2 goals in 2 minutes.
Excited.
2 goals in 2 minutes, 0-0.
This game is so weird from Reece James Kingdom. Big up to you. That's definitely a foul. He is holding one of his hands. He is a keeper, so he couldn't control it. Do you know what? Maybe we couldn't see that from what we
couldn't
saw.
See it from the angle we were given.
But if you guys say so, then there you go. This is getting funny now from GWS. Also, tonight as well, it's Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. Do you know what? Regardless of what happened in the week for Liverpool, this is a game that Liverpool have won the last 7 trips to Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park.
What happened on the 8th one?
What do you make of
tonight? So we'll see.
The last 7 trips.
The last 7 trips we've done there, we've won.
What happened to the one before that, Seb?
Istanbul. It was a draw, so we didn't even lose it, mate.
Istanbul.
I was actually watching the highlights of that today. It came up on the TL.
Dwight Gale
with a second.
I swear to you, that was one of the most heartbreaking
Not for me,
moments,
mate.
even as a neutral.
But we'd already lost the league at this point now.
Yeah, but that's because they messed up at home to Chelsea. And
it was
Rodgers didn't do the
gone
maths.
It was Rodgers still going gung-ho that whole game.
Bro, we were 3-0 up.
Relax.
So it was working, wasn't it?
No, but he didn't need to do that against Chelsea.
Possession. Second half, you're still trying to go 4-5-6.
No,
kill it.
No, he lost the league at Anfield when he decided to go gung-ho at home to Chelsea against Jose Mourinho when he only needed a point.
By the way, Burnley
only needed a point
up at home. Josh Brownhill with another goal for Burnley, 3-0 up now.
Needed a point.
The narrative that everyone wants you to agree with is the Gerrard slip cost Liverpool the league.
No,
it wasn't. We drew 9 games that season. It was all those draws that lost us the league. It wasn't Gerrard slipping. It wasn't Istanbul. We'd already lost the league at that point. So that's my opinion. But anyway,
still would have
you know what's funny? In 10 out of those 12 draws that you had, Suarez didn't score. But people rave on about his incredible season that year. And 33%
he was
of the
banned
goal.
for the first 8 games.
6 games it was,
Yeah,
actually.
6.
Don't try and add 2 in there. 30,
Still easily the best player in the
And
season.
rightfully so.
Yeah, he was.
as well.
He was that player that season.
yeah.
He was.
You know what I mean?
The way he was
100%,
playing. But 33% of his goals were against the bottom 3 sides, and 50% of his goals were against the bottom
Norwich.
half.
How the hell do you know that?
No, he knows that because this has been a previous conversation.
Yeah,
I think it was with
Suarez, yeah.
Cams, was it?
When you visually look at it, one of the best seasons. When you look at the teams he was scoring against, you start to go,
Yeah, Norwich. He bullied.
I can see why he was doing mad
4
that
goals
year.
against fucking
He
Norwich.
bullied Norwich home and away.
Norwich, West Brom, and Fulham hated
home
him
and
that
away.
year.
What he did to Norwich at their ground sometimes was just
The halfway line goal.
Every
Yeah.
time. Every time he went there, it was at least a hattie every time.
Yeah.
But how does Jurgen Klopp keep his team motivated after such a huge blow at Anfield? Watch this.
Yes! Yes! Get it! What's the say? Nunes goal. That was naughty, mate. Look at this! Yeah! Look at that! The best goalkeeper in the world, lads! Hey! Yes! Get in! Oh, it's 2-0. Look at it! See! I told you, we're not Madrid! Look at it! Vinicius! We're still winning. Vinicius Junior! Oh, the best goalkeeper in the world! This is unbelievable.
This is a joke.
SOS!
Oh my God.
Es mi equipo! 3 goal, 3 goal.
I mean,
Where did you go? This is the Champions League. Look at the goal. We are Real Madrid. We are the Real Madrid. Come on. ¡Ay, mi madre! ¡Ay, mi madre! ¡Ay, mi madre! He's Karim Benzema now! I told you.
oh my goodness.
Thank you, God. Thank you, Father. I am our mother.
Yeah, that was a pretty horrible clip to watch back. Big up to Doyle for even being able to.
I would have walked out, mate. I would have done
sit there.
There's no way. Honestly, there's no way I would have gone through all that. I would have left.
That's my next celebration.
When I got a 4, I was.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you,
Father.
That'll be me at Wembley.
I love
It's
that.
me,
That is poetic, man. A real passion.
Let me give you my perspective of that one. I was standing in the cop for that on Tuesday night, and
Nice.
I've never been to Anfield and seen a team put 5 away in that style against us. It's the best performance I've ever seen from any away team coming to Anfield. I stood there and applauded as Benzema and Modric came off the pitch, as did many other people in the cop. Their fans were singing Liverpool, Liverpool at the end as like that show of respect, because we were all just there going, you just absolutely battered us. And to go 2-0 up, and I think I was standing next to Mario on the cop, to go 2-0 up, I'm telling you now, boys, that was the best 20 minutes I've ever had at Anfield in my life.
What?
2-0 up to Real Madrid at home.
What about the Origi?
I wasn't at that game.
Oh, okay.
But that game there, to be 2-0 up, it was unbelievable. It was Barca, yeah. And I thought maybe there's another Barca on the cards here. But every goal that went in, listen, the first goal was world class, but how he's been given that much space in the box to get a shot where he's criminal defending. The second goal, obviously a massive mistake. Gomez and Alisson combined. Third goal, mistake. Fourth goal, howler. I mean, the third goal, the marking for that header was non-existent.
That's the worst goal conceded.
Easily, and everyone just looking around at each other. No one wanted to take any blame. The fourth goal and then the fifth goal, massive deflection, and then the fifth goal, everyone just sits down and watches it fly into the top corner. But I think I spoke to some Real Madrid fans the day after in Liverpool, and I was in a restaurant and I said 2-0 up, 5-2, and they went, "Sí, it's Madrid," and I was so almost offended at the arrogance of that comment. But then I thought, do you know what? They're the only team in world football that can go, yeah, but it's Madrid. Because if we scored 5, they would have scored 6 that night. If we scored 7, they would have scored. They just find a way, and they're the only team. This is their competition. Raul has been so arrogant in all the match previews I've ever done with him. Played these guys 6 times in 4 years, and it is them. It's just them, and I honestly just could not believe what I was seeing in front of my own eyes. Great start though, but this is football. I mean, listen, there's no return for Liverpool in this tie, in my opinion. That's it. You don't come back from that at the Bernabeu.
No. You could score a few goals, but they're going to score a few again, aren't they?
There's no way we keep a clean sheet.
Why don't you
in that
believe?
Game. No. Do you know what? If it was the second leg at Anfield, I would.
Yeah. There's no chance. They're not coming back from that.
You got to score 4 though. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. So the next Champions League leg in a few weeks. Yes, there will be a Thiago back. Yes, there will be Luis Diaz back. But
you could bring back John Barnes, Ian Rush on the prime. It's not going to make a difference, mate. It's not going to make a difference against Madrid. Like bring back Fernando Torres, the lot. You know what I mean?
bring him back. Bring back Michael Owen. Played for both teams.
Yeah.
Of course.
Heskey.
No, it was poor. It was awful. It's the worst I've ever seen. Yeah, he loves. You know what? Ask Michael Owen who the best striker was he played with. It's always Emil Heskey. That's what he says. And he's played.
Big man,
with
little man. You tried to replicate it with Andy Carroll and Suarez.
Do you know why he always says that? The only striker that didn't take goals off him.
No, he gave goals
selfish.
to him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was for selfish purposes.
But that's Gerard Houllier just had it down to a T. Knock it into Heskey. He'll find out.
Big and little, innit?
Big and little.
Big and little.
Big and
little. Large.
We've seen a few of them. Partnerships down there. It's Defoe and Crouch.
Berber.
Yeah, it wasn't that big though, Berber, was he? Well, I suppose he's 6 foot probably, isn't it?
He was like 6'7" with the Drogba and Angel.
No, it's not little and large, is it?
Drogba was the definition.
I'm talking about physical height, little and large.
If you really want to have the conversation, Drogba was the whole reason why front twos died, you know that?
Yeah.
Drogba is the actual moment when people realised, oh, you can get 2 strikers in one. Quick, strong heads, volleys, target man,
strength
link
of
play,
2
free
strikers.
kicks. Bro, 2005, Jose Mourinho, that period, Drogba changed the game, I'm telling you.
By the way, Marquinhos on loan from Arsenal has scored today for Norwich. They go 2-0 up at home to Cardiff.
Thinking, is that the one from Arsenal?
Yeah, it is. He's out on loan.
They gave him a work permit.
Yes, they did.
Didn't give Andre Santos one though.
Champions League as well. We're talking about Liverpool, Champions League, Real Madrid. Man City still the favourites to win the Champions League.
They have to win it.
Bayern Munich, then Madrid, and Fuad and my Napoli 7-1.
I think that's the reason why I'm going with Napoli. Is I look at all of those teams, and outside of Madrid being the inevitable, City, you look at them, they haven't looked that convincing this year. Bayern Munich, they're not that convincing this year. I'm sorry. PSG. Still being PSG.
It means nothing though, these favourites, because if that was right, then they'd be basing that on City having won 2 or 3 in the past. It's just
Madrid should surely be favourites.
Milan won the first time; they're not even in that top 5 there. But for me, as long as Real Madrid are in that competition, they'll always be favourites.
Yeah, for me, I've stopped saying anybody else's. I mean, Man City need to win it. PSG need to win it because they've never won it. But it's Real Madrid's trophy.
I think the best thing for City would be a City-Madrid final. City getting revenge for the last year.
PSG City final, no?
No, Madrid City final.
You want City to get revenge?
I'm saying for them, that would be the best thing, yeah. What better way to get your first crown than taking the guys who've been the kings of it, getting revenge back for 2 minutes away you were last year. Pep beating Madrid as well, being a Barcelona guy. Like, there's so much to that. I think that would probably be the best final in my opinion.
Confident though, Alex?
Yeah.
Sellers Park? Because you know you're trying to chase down that top 4.
The record is really good there. We had Kane on, a Palace fan yesterday on the COP TV, who is basically fed up of the lack of goals and the lack of kind of direction that was there initially under Vieira, but now it just he doesn't play the same team 2 weeks in a row. He's dropping good players. I think Zaha's out, which is a good plus for Liverpool, but Eze had an amazing game at Anfield, and it's the only game we've drawn against him in the last 12 was at Anfield this season when Darwin Núñez headbutted Anderson 10 minutes sent off.
Yeah.
So my question back to you, if you were Núñez, right, and you're lining up tonight, don't forget, under the lights, Selhurst Park, Saturday night. Fans have been drinking all day. They've got a bit of noise.
Got the drums out.
Got the drums out. If you're Núñez and you're lining up, shaking Anderson's hand, is there anything still there, or have you got to just keep your head and not rise to anything that he tries? Because Vieira's gonna be saying, get him again.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be testing him. No doubt about that. But he should be working on these things. Since that happened, he's got to be pulled to one side and had it worked on, you know what I mean? So if he does it again,
no excuses.
Nah.
There was a slight moment where I think it went to VAR against Madrid on Tuesday, where I think he lashes out and Rudiger just jumped on the floor, and I'm going, oh no, what's he done? And I saw the ref just go, and I was like, listen to him.
You don't want to take that out of a player as well, though. You don't want to take that fire out of a player.
Rooney?
He'll take away some of what he's good.
You can't be stupid with it though, as well. At the same time, I love a player. Yeah, I love a player who plays with the dark arts and is all for getting an extra inch. But I feel like it has to be done smartly. Like I was seeing against you lot, Carvajal, 7th Dan black belt of the dark arts. Like, there was one moment where I saw Darwin Núñez going for a header and he just gave him this small little nudge in the back. Could have been a penalty, but guess what? Because the ref can't see it, because it's from a certain angle, and it looks just enough of a nudge, you have to know how to do it. Darwin Núñez is still a little bit too.
He'll just punch you in the face.
Just like too.
He moves like that.
Forward, and I'm like,
he's too big.
It's like, relax, big man. You can do this more subtly, more.
Can he? He doesn't play in a subtle manner. He doesn't play. He is chaos. He is the chaos consumer. He can't play subtly. Everything he does is blatant obvious.
He needs to find a way to
everything he does is blatant.
Love him more.
I agree. He needs to find a way to use it well, though, because it is a good thing. As you say, you'd rather have a player who.
What a goal, though, by the way. Can we just say?
Oh, it's a brilliant goal.
It's the quickest Champions League goal in Anfield ever.
Unbelievable finish.
Go frame it,
just
man.
I'm shocked. I couldn't believe it. What a goal for Courtois to not even be able to react to that.
Great pass from Salah as well.
It didn't have much whip on it.
It wasn't a cross. It was a pass, isn't it, from Salah? Yeah.
But it wasn't like a Trent whip on the floor or a KDB. It was
power generated.
I'll put it in the area, and he went bang.
Yeah. But I think
believe it when that went in.
Salah's pass was very disguised.
The last 2 games he's done 2 cold.
Done nice creative.
He's getting back in his playmaking bag.
He's running in behind. He's moving.
You were at that game, right? So I mean, that was last Premier League game Liverpool played in. So
I was right there as well, for that goal, right next to that corner flag, and he was immense. He looked bigger and better than everyone else. He's a real handful for our big defenders in Botman and Burn. He's just getting him behind, having loads of joy, and he just lashed it to him, didn't he?
No chances with that one. Put his laces straight through it. Great finish, that one. But again, Cody Gakpo scoring as well in that game. That's 2-2 in the Prem for him. Salah back to assisting. So to answer your question, I do feel confident. But it's still a massive game, and it's still a hard place to go to, no matter what anyone says.
Especially on a Saturday night.
Saturday night, horrible time for a kickoff. Really, I don't like it, if I'm honest.
No. I think it's good because we get to watch all of the games more. You know.
Yeah,
I think so as well. I think.
Yeah, I guess so in that way.
Take away one or two of the 3 o'clock kickoffs and spread them about a bit more. Yeah, I like a Friday night game. I like a early morning Saturday game. Late Saturday game as well. Give me a Sunday morning one as well, man.
Really?
Listen, mate, I'm not lying to you. I missed that World Cup, waking up 10 a.m, rolling over, scratching
just brush your teeth, bang, straight in.
I didn't even used to brush. I used to brush at half time. I'm like, I'm watching the first half raw. Bro, 4 games. Oh man, take me back, man. Those are the days.
So that was your experience.
Did you host
My
any?
Experience was Alex, yo, wake up,
wake up, bruv.
Shut up, Robbie, man.
Did you
8 a.m.
Did you host any 10 a.m. DR?
Never.
Oh, so that's why.
I said, yo, please.
You didn't have to get on the Lily line when rush hour when everybody was going to work. You didn't have to do that. Line. Yeah, talking about 10 a.m. kickoffs, man. Shut up.
Enjoy that.
Do you know what I mean? I'd get like my full day sleep. He'd watch like 2 ball draws.
Bro, 0-0.
And then turn up 3-4 goals in each year. I'm like, oh, I love this World Cup.
Man's leaving at 8:30 in the morning for a 0-0. Like, who is it? Sometimes like Switzerland versus, I don't know, fam.
Croatia or something.
Yeah, I was pissed, bro. Are you nah?
I remember that one morning where I came in and you watched back-to-back 0-0s.
Oh my God,
mate, I felt for you, man.
As a presenter, it's
that pain.
That's a hard one, mate.
Hard, man.
Keeping them ones entertaining.
Hey, that's where we appreciate the comment section. You know what I mean? They kept us going for us.
Man, they're trying to get you.
That we've pre-written.
They're trying to get us to spin a wall at 11:15 and 11 in the morning.
Well,
chilly.
2 0-0s. We've currently witnessed 4 0-0s in the Premier League. Half time now at Ellen Road and West Ham. No goals. Well, we thought we had 2 actually in the Leicester game, but they were both no goals. So yeah, we're still waiting for those goals to start flying in. But quickly before it is half time, predictions for tonight: Crystal Palace, Liverpool. Let's go around the table.
I am going to go 1-1 draw.
Not good for Liverpool. No. I'll go 3-1 Liverpool.
No, I was thinking the same 1-1.
1-0.
Yeah, I think 1-1 draw.
Me and Matt are on the same wavelength today.
Nunes. Yeah, we all. Nunes. No, I'm back Nunes. Yeah.
Matty.
I'm going with a Liverpool win. I'm gonna go 2-1 to Liverpool.
Let us know in the comments what you think. Silio's saying 2-2. Palace 1, Liverpool 3 from Newcastle fan Tendy item there.
Big up Tendy, man. He's always in the chat.
He's always in the
loves
chat,
it.
isn't he?
Loves it,
He's
mate.
always in the chat. I think he's actually, is it Singapore that he watches from?
I think so, mate.
I think it is.
Legend.
And we've seen some. Also, let us know where you're watching this show from right now. I heard someone in the comments earlier saying Australia. And we've got
what time is it over there?
At 4 a.m.
I will be because
it's definitely
big ups, man.
Honestly, once you actually get the names in of all these places that people are watching from, it blows your mind because you don't get that with the broadcasters. You can't watch that all around the world. But that's the beauty of YouTube is that anyone can watch this at any time,
and it's free.
Send in a super chat.
But you can help,
of course. Norway, Brooklyn, Chicago, the Netherlands, East Timor. Wherever that is, big up. Another New York.
East Timor, that is.
Where's that?
That's past Australia, I think.
Wow.
East Timor.
That's like, I think,
about West
Pacific
Timor?
Islands, if I'm not mistaken.
East Timor is Pacific.
Tendy item watching from the Philippines.
Islands.
Right.
Fire,
Toronto, Sweden, Botswana, Watford.
I love that. Snuck in a little Watford there. End of the line.
Watford to Mauritius.
Ethiopia.
To be fair, Watford's far.
South Africa, New York, Birmingham, Dallas, New York, Jamaica, Kenya, Burnley. Kenya and Burnley, Ethiopia, Chicago, New Delhi, Singapore, Malaysia, Namibia, Saudi Arabia, Cape Town.
Saudi brothers.
Yes. Madrid, Bristol,
Shameless.
Wakefield, Glasgow, Los Angeles,
What's
Frankfurt.
the best shop in Wakey's? Hey, I've come across that account recently.
Wakey Wines.
You just discovered it.
I've only just come across it. I didn't know what was going on.
Well, anytime I hear Wakefield now, I'm like, what's the best shop in Wakey's?
Honestly, look at this though. They keep coming in. Seal Street. That's the street next to where I live in Liverpool. I won't name the actual street that I live on. Don Robbie's Jet. Mumbai. Selden. Nigeria, Minneapolis, Chicago, India, Leeds, Nigeria, St. Lucia. This is incredible, isn't it?
Mad, isn't it? Yeah.
Jamaica, Nairobi, Croydon.
That's another threaten, though.
I can't lie to you, Croydon is another country.
Yeah, it is.
Croydon
I've
is
been
another
there.
country.
Not even in London,
I'm sorry,
bro.
my bro, but it's the way it is.
Listen.
I try to get in there. It takes me two working days.
That's how you get your trim, isn't it?
Yeah, I stopped getting it trimmed. I trim there now. Yeah, I found somewhere else.
Matisse would go there, get a trim, come back, he needs a trim.
Yeah.
It's been that long.
Yeah, it's been that long. Literally. Bro,
Fade's
Got
gone.
the afro now.
I'm telling you. Nah, I found a new home now.
Trinidad and Tobago, Armenia,
Great York and that.
Cambodia, Heaven. Hopefully not.
Hey,
Well,
brother.
How you go?
better
Rest
than
in peace. Come on, G. Nepal, Liverpool. Big up Taylor Reid. El Salvador. Bienvenidos a todos visitadores de El Salvador.
¿Cómo está?
From Tobar. Big
Sí,
up to
señor.
you. Outside DR Sports Studios.
Lion.
Liar. This is just Harrow, Banbury, Baku. Remember Baku?
Yeah,
Azerbaijan.
back again.
Baku again.
Back again, yeah.
Abdul's basement, says Amar. I think he's talking about Abdul from Wakey Wines. You know, Abdul, go back.
I don't come closer.
Yeah, that one. Speaking of Saudi, Ronaldo's just scored a pen,
Nice.
says James.
He's proper off the grid now.
Yeah. Chennai, India, Scarborough. Unbelievable. Thank you as well from Ram for the super chat.
Lovely.
Brilliant. First ever one from you, so thank you for that. Soviet Union, Lahore, India, Somalia.
Big up.
The Fox's Kai was watching this from the King Power.
Half-time entertainment.
Hey,
Wow.
bigger.
We love that.
Legend.
That is what we
I've
call.
actually gone to a Liverpool 3 o'clock and been watching, I think it was you and Matisse.
Are you
actually.
running?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the ground watching it.
You don't actually get signal in grounds, man.
Seen Jim.
When you got the staff
No.
Wi-Fi, it's a different story. You get me?
There you go. I can't remember
you
ever
know
going to
what's
a
up.
football ground and getting signal.
There's no Wi-Fi.
I'll be walking to the station 2 hours later, I still ain't got signal.
Yeah.
You're getting texts like, bro, which bar are you at? It's like, the game finished yesterday, geeks. I'm outside Stamford Bridge crying, according to Sean Newlands, who has Mike Wazowski as his picture. New Jersey.
Right up.
Chris Flood. Not even, that is a good attempt to bait me, but I'm just not reading that out, unfortunately. It's actually supposed to be the other way around.
Yeah. I just got it. Like,
Not go anywhere, good try. Good cheeky.
Newcastle, but a Man United fan.
Oh, what's that about?
What's
That's
that
him.
about?
Newcastle, but a United fan. Newcastle United fan? No, he's got Garnacho as his picture. Oh, Ronaldo. Are you a student up there? Because that can't be happening, mate. Have you ever experienced at school? I mean, obviously Newcastle is a one-club city, but have you ever experienced teams or from outside the city of kids supporting it where you go, hang on?
There used to be this one kid in our class who used to wear the Man United shirts and he used to get so much grief, man.
Yeah.
He used to get battered in the playground, like so. Because in Newcastle,
Physically,
you're
or?
not support. Well, a little bit, yeah.
By me.
Jimmy. If you're not supporting Newcastle, there's problems, man. Because everyone knows you're glory seeking, isn't it? You know what I mean? Oh no,
You couldn't get away with it, really.
Play for them in the 40s, you know.
You couldn't get away with it, really, could you?
No.
Think of me wearing a Liverpool shirt in the playgrounds in London.
Oh.
That's fine.
Didn't get battered though. Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. I think London, you can wear whatever top you want. But
yeah,
London's
to
a little
Newcastle,
different.
no
It's
chance.
If you were in Liverpool wearing a Chelsea
Get on
shirt,
this.
maybe.
I know a Scouse lad from Walton in Liverpool, which is like Scouse, and he supports United with a Scouse accent.
How? How does he do that?
Bro, when he told me, I was just, you know that face, like
Problems for himself,
De Niro
really, as well,
face,
isn't
where you
it?
go,
what's the matter with
what's the matter with you? What are you playing at? Couldn't believe it. It's rude, if anything.
I don't know how he managed to survive.
Well, yeah, he's paying me, so I won't.
It's a man of character.
60% of Londoners are United fans, according to MJ.
Absolutely, like. Yeah.
I live in Birmingham but support Leicester. That's a good question, actually. Do you live in a city that you don't support the team of? You do.
I used to
I live
last
in
year.
Liverpool as
Last
well,
year
to
I
be
did.
fair to me.
Last year I was living in
Yeah, Southampton, yeah. Or what's the weirdest one you've ever heard? To be fair, Premsy blows my head. Sounds mank as hell, but
Yeah,
sports
sports
Arsenal.
Arsenal, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Premsy.
Premsy. You know Premsy.
No, Premsy.
Premsy. AFC Premsy.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
He's Arsenal
Is he
fan.
from? Is he
He's from Manchester.
Comment on the post before now saying make sure you batter them. There he is, there.
There he is, Premze, underscore AFC.
So he's from Manor? Oh, shit.
He supports Arsenal.
It's always the other way around, usually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not tomorrow.
To be fair, Raul is from Sevilla and supports...
that was one actually I saw.
Because I like that,
But yes. I was on his Twitter account the other day and I seen Cordoba, Sevilla. I'm like, these are opposite ends of the country. I was like, oh, are you a Spanish glory hunter? Interesting.
I live near Hamburg, but supporting the Scousers. You never walk alone from Norat. I thought I said Borat there.
Global fan base. I'm not.
What about your guy, Mario Ronaldo?
Do you know what?
There's
from Italy. Supports
what
Liverpool.
I'd love to know is there's a lot of people from different countries watching. What's your Premier League team and what's your local team? Because I notice people always have like 2 teams, if that makes sense.
Great question, that, mate.
Because mine was always like Ajax, Tottenham. But it's like if you're an international fan, you always have your home team. And then
I've got another story. Scouser lad I've met supports Arsenal. He goes, Tony Adams. When I was growing up, I just used to watch him, lad. I was like.
Sometimes it is just that
basic. You're looking for like a story from like their ancestors or something. You're not gonna get it. It's like
dad.
I like the colour red.
A goldfish.
Yeah, I like the colour. I like that kit. I like the kit.
That's it. I swear to you, sometimes it's as simple as
he changed his nationality.
Colombian.
Yeah,
loves the beak.
The kit.
A Brum but Toon fan. Says Vincent. He's from Brum, but he's a Toon fan. Chelsea fan living in America. East Bengal, but support Manchester United. I live in Manchester, but I'm a Tottenham fan from Beam. I live in Brighton, but support Liverpool.
How did that
from
happen?
Kakas.
I would love to hear that story.
That's
Lives in Manchester, but supports Tottenham. That's got to be like family.
Maybe moved up.
Might work in Media City, BBC.
Yeah,
possibly. Yeah,
I actually know a couple of Spurs fans that work for the BBC who are up there. Austin FC is my local team, but Man United in the Prem from N-Tish.
Austin FC.
Pivot Fallen, Premier League Chelsea local team Charlotte FC. Do you know what I have to say about the MLS? So Adidas have got the rights to do all the kits. There's no Nike anywhere in the MLS.
That's crazy.
But look at the kits. They have the templates that they get out there. We don't get them in Europe.
No.
Look at the MX. Someone try and get a picture up someone and send it in, because the kit's on selection. Like, it's the kind of thing, Americans, they go and pick the nicest looking kit in the shop. That's who they support. They're all fire. I could go in and be any team's fan because the kits are fire.
When I was in Philadelphia, I bought a Houston Dynamo kit because it just looked fair. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there you go. Adidas. Must have been.
Why don't? Because over here it's more tribalism, so.
Checks on the stripes. Checks on the stripes.
It's like, would you?
I'm seeing what you're talking about. Seattle Sounders. That kit is
fire.
Mad.
They're all fire. All of them.
That's their away kit.
£110.
Yeah. Well, they like to. Well, that's how much kits cost now if you want the player version.
Player version, yeah.
Player version, hype.
Yeah, well, you know what I think as well? You know how us guys will walk around in a Jersey's outfit or a New York Jets outfit or with a name on the back? You'd never go to America and see some lass walking around with John Walters on a Stoke kit, would you? Just wouldn't happen.
No, I feel like over the last couple of years, though, it has become more of like a fashion thing in America. I see random rappers walking around in like Chelsea tops, Arsenal tops.
I've seen Snoop Dogg in a Portsmouth kit before.
Bro,
I've seen the game.
Rihanna was wearing a kit.
Yes.
Who is she wearing?
Germany.
Germany.
Yeah. She was glory hunting with the World Cup, wasn't she? Yeah. Podolski and all them, man. Oh yeah, Rihanna, he's the cool.
Yeah, gonna jar hype. Couple of super chats. Is Brendan Rodgers a good manager? Asks the Foxes Kyle, who is at the game today. Yes, but no, in a weird way.
I think he is good.
He is a good manager, but he needs the right backing, and he won't really do that without the right backing.
Tottenham. He has a rough ride. He's won the FA Cup at Leicester.
Just Vibes FC. What is Sam Smith doing on this watch along?
Oh, that's a bit nasty.
That is a bit out of order. Yeah. Maybe the same hair colour at this stage, but a lot of differences.
Going to wear a cap for the rest of the day now, thanks, mate. Actually, I've got a cap to wear.
Do you guys think the City and Liverpool dip in form is due to battling 4 to 5 years at such a high level, and they've both finally run out of gas? Yes, I would say. It's not just Liverpool you can say that about at the minute. City as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But their gas and your gas running out is 2 different levels, isn't it, of running out of gas?
Cheers,
they're still driving. You guys have stopped in the middle of the road.
Not anymore.
They're still driving, to be fair.
Rich coming from the oil
boys.
You
guys stopped in the middle of the road, and you've got both your lights on, just going not moving nowhere.
Lights on.
The hazard lights on. Windows are down.
Jimmy Schroeder with a super chat. Big up to you, my friend, who says, we've just read that one, but he is a City and an LA Galaxy fan. So that's his little
Loads
mix.
of people beat LA Galaxy after like
Yeah.
Sounds
I
like,
think
sounds
I
like a
bought
real
PSG
glory
shirt
hunter there, you know.
I'm not going to lie. Beckham 32.
Robbie Keane.
Beckham, Keane, Gerrard, Zlatan. A bit of a glory hunter that
Giovanni.
smells like to me. And then City.
Abo Xavier.
I'm watching you closely.
Orlando Pirates from South Africa and a Madrid fan. Right. Brilliant for you.
I like that.
MLS kits are they are.
I can't lie to you.
They are the best.
Those are
aren't they,
two
you know?
kits that are fire. Orlando Pirates and
Purple.
is it the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah.
They two
The
kits.
90s.
They're two kits I always see, and I'm always like, "Yo, that shit looks fire." And they're badges as well. I think Orlando Pirates might have the best badge in world football, in my opinion.
Ajax got a nice badge.
Who?
Yeah, they do.
Ajax.
Ajax.
They do.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's an old man.
kit.
Are Newcastle still looking to change their badge?
Hopefully not, like.
Mate,
I remember you did a
Don't
video
do
about
that.
it recently.
Yeah.
I watched
I think they're going to try and modernise it a bit, just change a couple of things on it, but keep the base.
Yeah,
of it.
you gotta
They're on
keep it,
about
man.
doing the whole City thing, circle emblem like everybody
Oh
else.
God, why would you want that?
Like
Everyone
what
says
you've
it's
got.
easy to
That's exactly what we
Aston
did.
Villa are doing. We're changing that.
We had the old badge. and
We did
just
that
went-
with like
we did
our
a
one.
circle.
I kind of like ours got better when we kind of modernise it, but
They say that
Cock and
you
bull.
can't, like,
potentially
brand
ruin
and put
it
on
as
things,
well,
but-
yeah.
Yeah,
What,
you
did
want to
you
be
like that
different,
when
man.
you put the?
no, when we used to have the whole
Cock and
yellow
balls,
and all of
isn't
that extra stuff, I didn't like it. I prefer this. This is much cleaner and simpler, in my opinion.
Like Leicester have
Who
got the
else we
circle
got?
emblem.
I
you
like
know,
Palaces, you know.
Yeah, Palace's is
Palaces
nice.
is cold.
I like yours even.
Ours is
If I'm
just-
honest,
Yeah.
I think
prefer
this
your old
is
one.
up there.
No,
I
I prefer
prefer
your old
this,
one.
man.
Do you know what? I'm with you, bro.
The old one was so fire.
With the
Yeah.
with the
I'd
two
order
fire
that.
things
Yes.
and the you'll never walk alone.
No,
I don't know.
old
I
one
like
was-
this simplified
It's weird
version.
because if you go on our
So
official
basic.
website, it's got that, but on
Yeah.
our shirts, it's that now.
You mix it up,
For me,
don't
that's
you?
too
Yeah,
basic.
it's
I don't
weird,
like
man.
that. I
Yeah.
prefer the old one. The old one with Fernando Torres. Lord Jesus.
Well, sometimes like mine, they just whack like a shape around it. What's all that about?
Yeah.
Cheating, really, isn't it?
Put a shape around it.
Because it's not that.
But United
shape.
can't change this. They're
Oh.
one club. They must never.
No, they can't.
I can't lie. Fulham's might
I
be
thought
up there with the
Liverpool. I
worst.
thought Liverpool couldn't change it.
Fulham's is poor, bro. I can't
Fulham's
lie.
some primary school
FFC,
thing,
yeah.
that.
Wolves
I
is
can't
just says what it is on the tin.
Yeah.
You're looking at Wolves.
Yeah, mate,
You're
like,
messing
can't
about. Bish bash bosh.
Arsenal's changed. I can't lie. I prefer the old one,
Old
the
school
actual
one was good.
Gunners.
The Gunners.
Oh yeah.
That's modernised.
The Cannon.
That's modernised.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I don't prefer either.
It's Arsenal.
Let us know what you think the best emblem is in the Premier League or in football in general.
Orlando
we can look
Pirates.
up
I'm
some.
gonna have a look at this.
Have a look at
Pirates.
this.
Orlando Pirates.
Loch Ness FC kit.
There'll be loads of people who play Ultimate Team that will come in with answers.
Yeah, because they'll be like, I always get that badge every time.
Nigeria 2014 kit goated. There's been some amazing Nigeria kits recently, hasn't there?
They're like PRFC, aren't they? I mean,
Yeah.
how did you drop a kit for the World Cup but not go to the World Cup?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's still sold out though.
but if
Still
that's
sold
not
out, though.
capitalising on people,
Yeah,
I don't know
still
what
sold
is,
out.
man.
Kaiser Chiefs.
Orlando Pirates badge is sick, like.
Which one?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Again,
best badge
so
in the
solid,
world.
you know.
That's like the emoji I got next to my Twitter name.
Yeah, you do have that, innit? Evil guy, man. Especially on Twitter.
It's to let you know.
Yeah. Explicit content, blood. Inter Miami have got a nice kit. Yeah, they do.
It's too pink.
Too pink.
It's trying too
I
hard
like the
for
weird
me.
one, the black and pink one.
I like
Yeah, the
I
away
like the
one's
Palermo pink, for example. That was just, you know, I'm just pink.
I like the Arsenal pink one.
Nah, trying too hard to be pink.
So as soon as it's Arsenal, stick
nah,
it into Miami
there's like-
badge
there's
on.
like
I got you. But
There's
yeah.
like
Love it.
Subtle pink.
Yeah, I like subtle pink. It's like Juve did pink well in
Jeep.
04, 2004.
The
No,
one
you
that
see,
Drake
they
wore.
overcooked it with that one, in my opinion.
Oh, the dark pink.
The dark
That was
pink, that
disgusting.
was
I
not.
was thinking of the
I
light
like the
pink.
pink
Like
they
it
did
was
in like 2004, if you can remember. I'm showing my age here.
Edgar Davids.
Yeah,
front cover of
that
FIFA
was
and
the,
that,
yeah.
the right.
yeah.
Nostalgia.
Cannavaro,
Right there,
Zlatan.
Nostalgia right there, I'm telling you.
We beat them that year in the Champions League.
Who's that winger? Cameronese as well.
Lewis Garcia.
Yeah,
goal.
Cameronese.
He was a baller.
Yeah,
Posted a
Buffon
picture
goal.
yesterday in that kit. I was like, man, so
I love that
much
Juventus
it
team.
Emerson?
Del Piero.
Yeah,
Right back.
Emerson was the
Yeah,
Brazilian
Trezeguet.
defensive
Yeah.
midfielder
Buffon.
signed from
Yes,
Lovely
yes,
team.
yes,
I
yes,
should love to have a Trezeguet.
yes.
Yeah, Trezeguet was a
Knowledge.
banger.
Trezeguet.
I love that
Juventus.
That Juventus
Another
team was
big
nice.
little combination there.
That was a nice
Trezeguet and Del
Juventus
Piero.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Finland fan. The teams here are Tottenham, aka Spurs, and TPS in Finland.
You know, I noticed that actually. Can you explain that to me a little bit? I noticed that in a lot of Scandinavian countries,
Tottenham.
there seems to be like a
Why
huge
is that?
contingent of Spurs fans, and I've
There's
tried
been
to-
a goal. Finally, so sorry to cut
eventually.
you off, Fuad, but Matty Renton, tell us what has happened at the very start of the second half at the King Power.
Arsenal got off to a flyer. Gabriel Martinelli in the 46th minute has put Arsenal in the lead. Great finish, actually. Bottom corner. He went down injured.
Looks bad though as well, that one.
Will this one actually stand as well though?
Ooh.
We had all the drama in the first half.
Is that a knee injury?
But
less than a minute into the second half.
Arsenal can't even celebrate. Yeah, all the players are consoling Martinelli. He's in pain. Xhaka is calling for a stretcher.
Doesn't look good for the young kid.
I think he might have overextended them.
Equivalent of putting your body on the line for your football club.
But he has scored the goal. And again, less than a minute after the second half, head in hands. It looks like it's his right knee that's the problem.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah,
the way he's holding his face, he's done.
That could be. Just sign that deal as well. Typical that.
Let's have a look at the replay of the goal here.
Look how deep they're playing there, Leicester.
Isn't it? Look, it's not even deep. It's one clown centre back. Who is that?
Clown.
Is that Sutar?
Is it FaZe?
I think it's Sutar.
Your boy.
How is that our boy? No.
Yeah, it's your boy because
FaZe trying to gas him up.
FaZe is their boy.
Oh, right. Yeah, number 15, Sutar.
FaZe, man.
Bro, that's too deep.
Bro, you
could have easily played him offside.
And the worst thing is, when you're not the quickest of centre backs, why would you want to almost set up a 1v1?
What happened to his knee there?
What happened to his knee though?
Great ball here around the corner from Trossard. Oh, nutmeg.
Delightful assist by Trossard through the.
I'm too blind to really catch that.
He stood on it.
Just believe us. He stood on it as he was going down.
He rolled him like a skateboard, bruv.
He just Bart Simpsoned his knee.
Ay, caramba.
Yeah.
Very good.
Hey, man.
I mean, it does seem accidental. I can't say with any certainty that he's meant to do that.
No. It's just him falling in that direction, really, wasn't he?
They're stretching the knee up, but that looks like it's kind of on the side and on the top.
Probably going to have a bit of swelling there.
That's an ACL gone, says Al Guapo.
That assist is lovely by Trossard.
Is it on purpose here? Is it late?
Oh,
mate, that is complete by accident. That is complete by accident.
Mate. That's nasty, but it's an accident. It's definitely
completely by accident. But my God, what an angle to kind of...
Yeah.
I really hope it's not an ACL, man. I hate these ACL injuries, man. It's killing so many footballers. Like, it's just ruining...
He's back up now, man.
He's back up and he's walking.
Didn't expect that.
Do you know what? If he carries on here, it could be to the detriment. Oh, he's just said... He's just...
Go off with a precaution,
shaking his head.
Yeah, Bentancur's out for ages as well.
Brother, don't even...
Emil Smith-Rowe.
Do you know what it is, yeah? Even like,
I think they said he was on the bench.
You don't even have to say rivalry aside when it comes to these injuries, but like, we want to see good football. We want to see good quality football, good games.
He's jogging.
He's trying to run it off, is he?
But
don't do the Superman shit where
teeth.
Don't come back. Don't come back on.
Of his own career.
Don't come back on. Don't do the Superman thing.
Like, you got Trossard there, you got Nketiah there, you got the changes, just make it relax.
Just rest up. Just rest up.
A bit of sweet moment for the Gunners there, Matty.
Leicester up the other end.
Come on, Leicester. Oh, I mean,
Jimmy.
One of our hosts has seemed to have lost their impartialness on Saturday Football Show.
Like that's
Come on, Leicester. Hey, where did that come from?
Ask Gabby Summers what the word bias means.
I meant rest up, Martinelli.
Jimmy with a super chat. Easy foo. I was born and raised in Los Angeles. I'm a Galaxy fan, but you need to tell Tottenham to start hunting some glory, bro.
You know, fair play. I did put glory on myself.
Big up. Seems accidental to me, says Braxton. He's fine, saying Ahmad.
Did that Finland guy get back to me?
Let's have a look.
I want to know
he said
about
Finland.
Scandinavian.
Kai.
You should get yourself over there, you know, Fuad, maybe have a look at some Scandinavian fans over there, you know what I'm saying?
I've always said, don't let me into Stockholm, man.
Why?
I might not come back.
Yeah, I don't think you would, man.
I might not come back.
Sensational.
Live in Chicago, support Spurs, Barcelona, and Chicago Fire FC. See, that's too much. That's taking the mick.
How many clubs?
That's Spurs, Barcelona, Chicago. So he's got Chicago Fire as his local team, Spurs is his Premier League team, Barcelona is his like team. Yeah.
No,
I get it.
No, you can't have that.
I get it. I get it. Did you know you
choose the push? Yeah.
Yeah. If that.
Luton Town have took the lead away at Birmingham, by the way, in the Championship. They're vying for promotion as well. Imagine seeing them in the big time.
Could Nathan Jones go back there? I actually heard he was playing Sunday League back in wherever he's from the other day. Genuinely, like 2 days after getting sacked, they're like, goal, Nathan Jones. And it's like Sunday League Twitter. Mad. Chelsea is my Prem team and Western Sydney Wanderers is my local team. Kings of Death, I support Arsenal and Dortmund. Interesting. Unpopular opinion, Fulham has had a better season than Arsenal. What do you think?
That's foolish.
That's a big no for me.
Fulham on a good season, but not better than Arsenal.
Come on now.
Nobody's done really
from America, but I support City. I'm a local FC Cincy. None of this other European club. There you go. But he says your guy got back from Finland.
Yes.
Kai, big up to you. Kai Lindström. I've been a Spurs fan since '86. English clubs had many times pre-season tours in Scandinavia and Finland. There you go.
That would make sense. That would actually make sense. Yeah, that would actually make a lot of sense.
Those native fans.
That's why they go on these pre-season tours.
It is.
Yeah. Works a treat.
That's why we go to Asia all the time.
Do a little pre-season tour to Scandinavians, man. That's actually a good shout, man. I like that.
Your idea of a tour with Scandinavians is a very different tour to
Zero games attended.
All ball games allowed.
Local
Fuad's trying to hit that 10k on Twitter real quick.
Only 50 away.
AGT, are you scared of Crystal Palace? Yes and no. But if you want our predictions, rewind. Coming like Craig David about 20 minutes ago, we spoke about it. Why can no one support City with being judged? I have been a fan for 12 years and I'm only 22.
12 years.
Oh, that's nice,
just ironically, just so perfect timing for the takeover and when the success started, isn't it? Yeah, of course.
Also,
and we shouldn't judge you for it.
There is hella Liverpool fans in Norway. It's like the most supported club in Norway, Liverpool.
Do you know what the thing is?
Half of them are in Anfield every week.
There's no problem with being a glory hunting fan. There's no problem with saying the reason why I supported my team was because they were successful, they were winning, and I like winning. There's no shame in it. But this is my thing. But my thing is just be honest about it. I have no problems. I don't judge you any worse or any better for it. But it is what it is. Some people said, well, growing up in London, saw United at the top of the table, said that's the team I like. Fair enough. They probably had a lot of good players you liked as well. But don't
as long as you stick with that team now.
Yeah, but don't try and act like this more like, oh, I shouldn't be judged. It's like, no, bro, you glory hunted, and it's fine.
You just gotta make sure you stick with that team now. Do you know what I mean? When they're dwindling now in 8th, 9th, 10th, you better get humbled.
I don't want to see that. I don't support this club anymore, man. I'm supporting my Cincinnati now. Nope. We ride. We die.
AGT, can you get Matty to say how are the lads for tomorrow?
I'll bring it in later.
When we do the preview, we'll talk about it a bit more. By the way,
our Geordie show pony today.
Another goal in the Championship, Mr. Renton.
We're looking Preston equalising against Wigan.
There you go, big one.
I miss Wigan.
Daniel Johnson with the penalty.
Sean Maloney days.
Yeah.
Boyce. And Zogbia.
Oh, Charles
Zaki.
Amir Zaki.
Yeah. Which Taylor was it? Ryan or Matt?
Both.
Matty.
They had both. Ryan played for him as well.
Ryan played was a right back.
Who's the goalkeeper? Hasby?
Al-Hasbi.
That's
Ali Al-Habsi.
Ali Al-Habsi.
FA Cup
Oman.
Remember?
Oman International.
Ben Watson.
Talk about cup final upsets. Man United being the favourites tomorrow. Wigan being there, done it.
True.
Swansea City.
True.
Birmingham City.
True.
Wow.
Yeah,
Newcastle
Birmingham
United
City. Hold tight. Carl King, thoughts on Eddie in left wing instead of striker or backup left wing?
No. Eddie up front. Eddie's a striker.
Number 14 plays up front.
Just a couple weeks ago, they were singing "Your defense is in charge."
Yeah, that song.
Yeah. That was a craze, that song, wasn't it?
Yeah, it kind of was.
Yeah. He's left the room.
They've done that to themselves.
Indie room hype.
Left the room. Locked out.
Can't get back in.
He's on the door.
2-0 to Arsenal, is it? Or is it offside? I think it's offside.
Yeah.
Saka.
I thought they just punished us for making jokes
goal.
about them.
I thought that was in Kitty, and then I saw Saka.
Yeah, if it was in KO, I would have walked out.
See, I don't like this, right? Someone called Matt. I supported Man United because I like the colour red. It was like 4 or 5, and I live in London.
That's some Tom Hanks thing. That's why that Tom Hanks sports Aston Villa, isn't it? He liked the kit. Like the colours.
But we said that earlier, innit?
So
like sometimes people support
so that would just like
that's only Americans that do that.
What, the colour?
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, I guess everyone has their reasons.
I'm sorry, you can't pick a colour, you know?
Why does no one ever pick a green for a Norwich?
Yeah, or Yeovil.
Yeah.
Or you could have picked any other
There's not
red.
many good green teams, are there?
Yeah.
There's no one's
There's
favourite
other
colour
teams
green.
in red, you know, fella. Yeah, Leighton Orient for one.
You just wanted Liverpool.
No,
I'm just disappointed.
I don't want
you
fans
lost
like
one
it, mate. Yeah,
to the
Anfield
Devils.
anyway. No, man. Chelsea will come back, if not now, in the next few years, and only a Scouse would hate on that, says JML. Big up to you, my friend. Right, another big game tomorrow. Tottenham versus Chelsea. Is this the best chance for Spurs to beat Chelsea? They haven't for a long time, since that Son goal at Wembley when he jinked in and out of Jorginho and Marcos Alonso and Kepa. All still playing for them, apart from Jorginho and Marcos Alonso, so it's only Kepa. But he's found his way back into the team. I dug myself a little bit.
Also, people except that.
Everyone was there, apart from no one.
And that's crazy.
But this is a massive game, is it not? And Matisse, you've been doing some content with expressions on this one.
And Fuad as well.
And Fuad, of course. Go and watch that, guys, if you haven't already. Make sure you do it. I believe he called you a matchstick with glasses.
Yeah. Every time I see expressions, he has a new nickname for me. You know?
At the minute, he calls me the Scouse Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Mateus.
I'll take that.
Mattress.
Scouse Jim Carrey.
It's a good one, though. I like it.
Yeah, just
everyone's a good one from him.
I've got so many nicknames, man.
He's too quick.
He's too
I need to add that to my graphic. But yeah, I mean, we actually have a great record at that stadium, to be fair. They've never beaten us since they moved into that stadium. I remember going to the away game under Lampard. We beat them 2-0, Willian at the double. It was a brilliant... Honestly, that's probably the best away experience I've ever had. Like, that was unreal. It was just brilliant. They put you in the corner, low, so you're close to the pitch.
Yeah. That's what I don't like.
I don't get Tottenham. Why they put the away crowd
in the nosebleeds at the back.
Same with the Emirates as well. They put you low and they put you in the corner, and they put you in the gods.
Right up
yeah,
there.
but it's so easy to make a great atmosphere as an away side and as a away crowd at Tottenham Stadium in particular, because you're so close and it's brilliant seats. Honestly, thank you.
More chances for Raymond Down.
Thanks for building that stadium. It's fucking beautiful. And then you've never been us there as well. But
it's never been. I think for the last 3 or 4 years, it's never been a nice fixture for us, Chelsea. I think last year we played them 3 times in January. I think the last 3 times,
every time, innit?
Every time. And I said that on his stream, like the A team, the B team, the C team, the D team, they all had a goal. I saw Saul putting in man of the match performance. Malang Sarr balling out of his
I remember that game.
Ziyech literally revived his Chelsea career off of those 3 games with
formations
us.
As well.
Yeah, trying all different formations, and even at home where you would kind of think, we've kind of got the benefit. I think the last 3 or 4 visits, we haven't won since 2018 at home to Chelsea. It's a mad record.
That was Wembley, yeah.
And that was even Wembley. so it could be even going even further back, but I don't know. I do feel like it is the best time to play Chelsea. I think you guys, with the issues you're having with your manager, you haven't found the best system. I don't think your squad has really found that cohesion and rhythm. Question is what Tottenham are going to turn up, in my opinion, because you don't know from week to week which one it's going to be. I think the players who are meant to be on form are not. And I'm looking at the likes of Kulusevski, Son, but then the ones who you're kind of not expecting a lot from have been offering stuff like Emerson over the last week or 2, so you don't know what you're going to get with this team. I said everything hangs on this kind of front line that we have of Kane, Son and Kulusevski. If those 3 are not firing on all cylinders, I don't really have much confidence in anything behind that, especially now Bentancur's out for the rest of the season as well. Romero's not been the greatest of form this season. I'm looking at this game like we could make something of it, but we could also get embarrassed. So
embarrassed. I mean, that. How could you possibly be embarrassed? We don't score goals.
And guess what? Dr. Tottenham will see you now, as our Spurs fans will say, because you are struggling to score. Don't worry, my friend. Come to our way, and we'll show you how to. This is the defence, and there's the goal. That's Fraser Forster. That's Fraser Forster. Don't worry, he's just a hologram. You shoot on sight, it goes in. So trust me, looking at the defence I've seen over the last couple of weeks, anybody can score.
It's definitely a massive chance for Spurs, though. Like it is the best chance I've ever seen to beat Chelsea, surely. But
if Southampton can do it,
we need to take advantage of you guys' drop in form over the last couple of weeks.
None of us want it, innit?
Now being distracted by the Carabao Cup this week as well, I think if we can hit Chelsea, almost sour their note a little bit more, capitalise on creating that gap with you guys, because you guys will have games in hand, I'm sure.
Yeah,
we have to do those things. The problem is when we've had to do things, we don't always execute as well.
I'd fancy a draw for this one, to be honest.
Same. That's what I thought. Yeah.
That's no good for either team.
Nope.
Really. No. Is it? I mean, it is for Liverpool. I'd take that. 100%. Yeah, wasn't like. Well, that's the opinion of one Tottenham fan. He reckons it's a draw. Let's see what this Tottenham fan thought of the game tomorrow.
that could be the end for Potter.
Bruv, the way I see it is, blood, get me, pancake day might be over, but these man will still get turned over, blood. I'm telling you, every year, blood, it's death, taxes, losing to Chelsea, blood. I told that matchstick with glasses, Matisse, blood. I told him, fam, no, blood, you man are getting touched up like Sophie Rose's Instagram photos, blood. That's what's happening. These man are getting put in a spliff. We're not getting a draw, you get me, fam. We are winning, bro. Yeah? Ooh. This is the time. No, less of that, bro.
That's a bit bold.
We ain't scored a goal there. We ain't got a win there. It's embarrassing, blood. These man had bums like what you talking about, Willian? What you talking about, Willian? Different strokes, blood, scoring braces against us. Man had Jose Mourinho parking everything he could find. The most negative football I've ever seen against Chelsea in both games. Do you know what I mean? Allow me, bro. Allow me. We didn't even attack them, blood. We didn't attack them. We were shook. We were scared. We were little man, blood. You know them way there like bouncers, guy. And I'm telling you this right now, fam. I've had enough of this, blood. I've had enough of that, blood. We got a new stadium. Oh, yeah. We can make beer. We can pour beer without pressing buttons, fam. Beat Chelsea, blood. Beat Chelsea, blood. Prolifically, bro. Turn them over, blood. I want a 2-0, blood. 3-0, blood. These man can't score a draw in Amsterdam. I said it already. They got no goals, blood. Well, they got Yao Felix, blood. Pedro Porro already took his gal, blood. Now let's take the result from them, blood. You know them way they're sending that guy back to Atletico Madrid to play left back, blood. Am I a prick, fam? Now I hate Chelsea, bro. I hate them, bro. I'm telling you, bro. These man deserve to get rolled up, rolled over, smoked, bro. Chelsea pack, I'm smoking, blood. Sophie Rose pack. Oh, the Rory Bartholomew's delectable football medley or splendor. That pack and the nerd pack as well, bro. All of them packs are getting smoked, fam. You know them way there. And I said it with chest, blood.
Don't forget, this Sunday at 9 o'clock, join DR Sports for the big fight. It's Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul. Who do you think is going to win, Laurie?
I'm leaning towards Jake Paul.
Jake Paul?
I'm leaning towards it.
Only
because it's a Jake Paul promotion.
Join us this week and you will find out who is going to win. 9 o'clock here on DR Sports. Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury.
Congratulations go to United. They beat Barcelona in the second leg. They were pretty impressive. Actually, you know what? The way KG was carrying on when we did that stream, you know what I mean? You'd have think, you know what? Actually, wait a minute. Hold on.
Go on.
It's for KG.
What, has he got a soundboard?
No, let me just, no soundboard.
Oh, here we go.
What?
Here we go.
Let me put this down here for...
Oh, here we go.
Because, you know, I swear United won the Champions League and they won the World Cup
as well, yeah.
They must have done it. The way their men are carrying on, right? You made it into the last 16 of the Europa League. You ain't won nothing yet. You haven't won the Champions League. You haven't won the Europa League. You made it through to the next round of the 16 where you got Real Betis.
Who's left there? But that's what I'm saying. But they beat a team that is pretty...
Well, whilst we've been away, there has been another goal in the Premier League, but who's it gone to, Matty Renton?
Aston Villa at Goodison Park. Ollie Watkins, 5 goals in a row for him from the penalty spot. Lashed it straight down the middle. Great strike, and they are 1-0 up against Sean Dyche's struggling Toffees.
Yeah, half an hour for Everton to find something, Fuad, but I can tell you that fan base will not be happy, and they might even turn on the team in the last 25 minutes if they don't see at least trying to score a goal here, because they don't score many.
No, and to be honest, I owe Ollie Watkins an apology, man. Because I remember maybe about 7-8 months ago, I tweeted something funny. No, like I normally do. I said,
what a shock that is.
I said, Darwin Núñez, I don't know why everyone's gassing him up. I can't wait for the team that pays over 50 million for the Uruguayan Ollie Watkins.
Well, they're both doing well now, so you were wrong on both counts.
I think Watkins, I actually kind of maybe undersold him a little bit.
He does look clumsy at times, though. I get where you come from. He does look clumsy at times, but he's full of confidence at the moment.
Definitely better than Darwin.
He's putting the ball in the back of the net. Five in the last 5 now. It's a record for Aston Villa.
Crazy.
Everton as well, though, man. Like they've got Mopey up front. Do you know what I mean? They've got Sims
Their
on the
attack
bench,
is awful. They got rid of Gordon, but Gordon wasn't starting anyway.
No.
Gordon and Richarlison both gone.
Yeah, both gone. No replacements.
Last year.
Yeah.
Haven't replaced
McNeil.
No one ever talks about what's happened to Calvert-Lewin as well.
Oh, God,
yeah.
You see him on every Head and Shoulder shampoo and Brawn advert, but Ain't seen
more
him
of
on
an
a pitch.
influencer now than a footballer now, man.
Mate. Man started dressing like
needs to influence his team.
Easter's East film, and all of a sudden lost all his footballing ability, bro.
Disease.
That's a banger. That like.
Hey, classic.
Apparently, Ronaldo scored a hat-trick.
I refuse to give it airtime. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't do that.
His career ended.
Don't do that.
His career ended.
Respect greatness.
Is it a real hat-trick?
His career ended for me after he left Manchester United. That's it. It's over.
Spoken like a true
the first time. 22 minutes to go now in the Premier League. Arsenal knocking on the door for another goal. Martinelli still causing problems, even though it looked like he was down and out before. Trossard with some really nice feet in the middle of the box. Let's go back to Tottenham versus Chelsea. You saw Graham Potter coming out of the he was late to the press conference yesterday at Chelsea, and he made the joke, just come out of the crisis meeting as we spoke about before. If he loses this one now, those jokes are gonna maybe stop. I mean, it's not a time to be joking about Chelsea's form right now. It is relegation form, but how's he gonna feel after this one, after another defeat, if it is that?
If he loses, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
He's sweet, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Security.
Don't go anywhere. If he was going to go anywhere, he would have went. That game was Southampton. Leicester away for Mourinho. Lampard, Leicester away as well, actually, funnily enough. Tuchel as well this season, but
I don't think he gets, unless it's a relegation. Unless they're in the bottom three, I don't think he gets.
Unless he's a couple, maybe 3-4 points off the drop, and it's getting really scary hours, then the trigger might get pulled. But so for me, I'm calm now. Like now I know what's gonna happen. There's no point complaining. Like I always say, if you don't have a solution to a problem, why are you complaining? Get on with it. So for me, I know that they're not going to sack him unless he's in a relegation battle. I'd be quite disgusted if that actually happened, because I was like, how are you not improving? You have to improve, right? You got to get points on the board. So he's not going anywhere. So we move to next season. That's it. It's done. Season's finished.
Not even Dortmund.
Season finished.
Yeah, well, Dortmund. Dortmund could go one of which ways. I mean, Dortmund are in good form right now. Great form in Bundesliga. They're joint top. I think, yes, we played okay out there. We could have scored a couple
goals. Goal in the Premier League.
And it's Danny Ings for West Ham in a massive game at home to Forest. You know what? Just when Ollie Watkins scored a minute ago, I was going to say him and Ings didn't really get it off. But now they're at separate teams. And it's his first
goal
similar,
for
West Ham, I believe. They are.
Yeah, too similar. It didn't work.
Same player.
Yeah, they're the same player. It didn't work. I think it was meant to be competition, but no.
But that is his first goal for his third claret and blue team that he's played for in his career, after Burnley and Aston Villa. He's now at West Ham, putting the goals away to potentially keep West Ham out of trouble, Matty.
That'll take them out the bottom three now, wouldn't it? That goal for Danny Ings, massive goal at the bottom of the league. That, like, for David Moyes' men, because the pressure would be mounting on him.
20
after
minutes
a day
to go,
they couldn't get the 3 points. The home crowd now will be up for it. 20 minutes to go.
Massive
Can't
goal for the
underestimate
Hammers.
how big that goal is.
Nicky and Dan will be buzzing with that one.
They will. They
just before we move on to Manchester United versus Newcastle, the official cup final preview, let's get a prediction for Tottenham and Chelsea. Have we done that already?
No. Well, not a score.
No, not a score. 1-1 draw, I'll go.
2-1 Tottenham I'm going for some reason.
2-2.
1-1.
Oh, VAR review.
Offside, maybe, checking.
Potentially offside, this Danny Ings goal. Let's have a look at it now. Difficult to see from here, but
that angle was a bit.
He went away and celebrated nonetheless. But that might be coming back. Gareth Southgate in attendance at West Ham today.
No. He's at Arsenal.
Well, I think the goal is standing. It is standing. It's 1-0. It stays. And Danny Ings gets his first goal for them. Let's get into the comments just before we move on. Danny Injaghi. Some from Jean-Pierre Shields, a brilliant goal scorer in the 90s and
look at that. 16th West Ham, 17th Everton, 18th Bournemouth, all on 21 points.
Wow, it's tight. It is tight.
Leeds on 20.
It's going to be one of those final days of the season, isn't it?
Survival Sunday.
16th can go down.
Survival Sunday. Can't
when they've got the timestamps of each goal going in at the ground that they plug into.
Another goal for West Ham. Just like that.
Like London buses, you wait for one, and then they both turn up at the same time an hour later.
And it's looking like it could be a brace for Danny Ings, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Chris tomorrow. What's happened? I don't know.
Get your fingers out.
I mean, I saw him walk off, but I thought he was getting subbed.
He's coming back.
I don't know, Jeff. I didn't see it.
Barnett, 2-1 up at home to Aldershot. Harry Smith with the goal. But we're
He's
still
the only
waiting to
person that
find
could get
out
away
who
with that,
scored
by the
this
way.
second goal. By the way, Andy Carroll still scoring football goals. Penalty for him as Reading are 2-0 up at home to Blackpool.
Reading are strange, man. Reading have
Tom Ince was the first goal scorer as well.
and Julian Hoylett plays for them as well.
They could have both scored in 2010.
And they produced Michael.
Literally.
Was he played for QPR? Julian Hoylett.
Still no confirmation on this West Ham goal, people. Danny Ings again.
Danny Ings again.
Yeah, exactly. London buses. There you go. 3 games for a goal. Couldn't score. Couldn't hit a banjo. The cow's ass with a banjo, I should say. That's the saying. But he has scored 2 in 3 minutes. Has Danny Ings.
A bit like Inzaghi in that 08 final, wasn't it?
Yeah, Inzaghi. Baby Tiger Raw says, "What do you think of Asian fans waking up?" I thought it just said, "What do you think of Asians?" Full stop. What do you think of Asian fans waking up early to watch games? I remember when I was 11 watching United lose 3-1 to Barca in the final at 3 a.m. and then getting cooked by my schoolmates at 7:30 a.m.
I have no sympathy, by the way.
Oh, come on.
Zero.
Don't be so evil.
Absolutely zero.
He's getting up early
as
to
a
watch
man
his team.
who is an enjoyer of NBA, NFL, I am forced to stay up till 2, 3, 4. You all watch boxing, a bit of MMA.
UFC and that for me,
You're all forced to stay up every month on end, yeah? So when you are watching a bit of Premier League,
Not his fault, though.
you get a taste of your own medicine, yeah?
Bit harsh.
I don't
No
think
sympathy from me, lads.
sounds like all of the NBA for him would also be at mad times as well. What time would it be over there in the morning, maybe?
Yeah, it'd probably be a little bit better.
Probably be
that's all I'm saying,
reasonable, yeah.
Reasonable, you
Too
know what I'm
bad.
saying? But we suffer when it comes to any sport outside.
That's why I don't
football.
follow any American
We
sports.
suffer, man. And
That's why I
I'm
don't
like,
say that.
when I hear people complain about, I watch Premier League at 7 a.m. I'm like, hey, I wish I was doing
I
that.
say fair play to those people.
No, but
Getting
yeah,
up in
credit
Japan,
to them.
for instance.
Real fans.
4 a.m. to open a
like,
pub. Australia to open a pub.
I
Guys
always
going
think-
to work watching it. Like, it's not their fault.
That's where I always find it funny when people question like international fans'
Commitment.
Commitment to the club, and I'm like, bro, if you knew some of these people are opening up bars at like 4 a.m. just so people can have some like troops at Barstool and stuff.
Yeah.
He's going to New York bars at like 4 a.m. I'm like, bro, what places are open? But they're opening specifically for the Arsenal games. I'm like, if that ain't commitment, I don't know what is, man.
Yeah, because I think over here, snooze alarms. I mean, bang, bang, would have been out.
Over here, you'll get people who just because they live around the corner, they'll watch highlights and then tell you, yeah, I support the team. Cool.
Fuad is spitting facts, to be honest. Watching NBA games at 4 a.m. is long.
Bruv.
I'd watch the highlight show.
Oh, mate. Especially if it's like a West Coast. Lakers are always
Game
West
on.
Coast.
Game on.
Tom Ince has scored again, 3-0.
Wow.
3-0.
That is a score sheet for the ages. Tom Ince and Andy Carroll scoring for Reading. Speaking of Andy Carroll, we might as well get into it then. With 10 minutes, 15 minutes to go in the Premier League games. Let's talk about Manchester United versus Newcastle United.
How are you, the lads?
The Carabao
There's
Cup
your mum.
final tomorrow. There it is. Right. There's no one better to ask this next question to. What will this mean for Newcastle fans? Give us an answer for win or lose.
For win, everything, because there's so many fans, including myself, who haven't seen Newcastle win a trophy. Well, I haven't seen them in a final, first of all. It's the first final in 24 years. So we haven't been there since 99. We haven't won a domestic trophy since 1955. We won the Fairs Cup back in the 70s, which is now the Europa League. That was the last trophy we had. So you're talking 50, 60, 70 years since we've won a trophy, man. It means everything for us for this, because the fan base, the city will be buzzing. And I think it's what we hope will be, on the steps to more trophies. It could be a big building block towards where the owners and the club want to get to. You know what I mean? It's a starting point. It's a nice little starting point as well, to be fair, because how you see some Man United fans say, it's a Mickey Mouse Cup, the Carabao Cup. That would mean so much to Newcastle fans. So we want it more. And then if you start off with the Carabao, the next year do you try and get the FA Cup? Do you know what I mean? You try and build. So it just means everything, man. This trophy would just change.
What about if you lose?
If we lose, I'm skint and crying.
You should have a nice view.
That is actually so true,
Goal for Leeds, by the way, in a massive relegation clash as well down there at Elm Road. 1-0 up now at home to Southampton.
Yeah, we'll get you the score of that as soon as possible.
But I mean, if we lose, it's devastating. But at the end of the day, I think we still just have to be proud of the players. Nobody expected we to really get a final this soon. Just after a year from the takeover happening, You know, I mean, this time last year we're in the bottom 3. Now we're pushing top 4 in a final. Like, it's crazy. It's been fast tracked. So we never would have expected that. So we've still got to just take the positives out of it. But I hate being that type of fan where it's like, oh, and just enjoy your day out. Not for me.
You're going to win, right?
Win, man. Yeah.
I think Man United fans are treating it like a Champions League final. I've spoken to a lot of Man United fans, and every single one of them are saying, if we win this, we're parading this around like a Champions League win, because they haven't had a trophy. This is their 6th season waiting on a trophy, and they are desperate. They are absolutely desperate for this trophy. So they want it. Believe me, they want it, because
I think you look Ten Hag coming in as well. It'll be his first trophy. I think last time when he was at Ajax as well, they hadn't won for 4 years or 5 years. They don't won any trophies. First final he gets crazy, he won it. Yeah, but PSV, Twente and RZ were coming out of nowhere them times as well. But I think Man United, as you said, need this so badly, and especially considering the Europa League, they've just beaten Barcelona as well. Big momentum coming out of that. I think the FA Cup they've still got there as well.
Just going to cut you off very quickly. There's been a 3rd goal now at the West Ham Stadium. Declan Rice, Matty.
Declan Rice. And for people in the comments, they're saying what a goal. So when we see it, we'll be able to confirm or deny that. But we're seeing Leeds goals there as well. Junior Firpo, yeah, with the goal. So the goals are starting to go in Finally,
now.
We're getting some action.
What a period, by the way, for West Ham in the last 10 minutes. But let's go back to the massive game tomorrow. We are doing this as a watch-along on DR Sports tomorrow, by the way. I will be presenting it. Hopefully with no bias. I'm not. What a goal from Declan Rice, by the way. What a goal from Declan Rice.
I missed it.
What a goal. That's the best goal in his career, easily. But yes, we will have on the Newcastle side tomorrow, we've got Uggs.
Big Uggs, yeah.
Big Uggs.
My guy, Big Uggs, yeah. Class man. He's one to watch. He's mint. He's really good crack. He loves it. He's from London though, so he's from London but supports Newcastle.
There you go.
So you know what I mean. But he'll be good entertainment, so he'll be cheering the lads on.
Who's on the Man United side?
Who's on the Man United side?
Neeks.
Is it Neeks? Can we get confirmation on that? Just to round up the preview of this this stream tomorrow. No reply from production.
Great.
Brilliant.
Ed.
But no, that will be an incredible stream anyway. I mean, throw the Carabao Cup final onto it, and it makes it even more important. What does it say about? Is Kojo on the stream tomorrow? Apparently for Manchester United. Eddie Howe, you mentioned a year ago he was sitting in the bottom 3. Looking up, he's worked wonders at Newcastle. Have you seen the motivation that he's allegedly given his players in the warm-up to this game in training this week?
Seen him the other day, a few days ago. He did a thing with Sky, walking his dog, and Keith was interviewing him. And what I liked about it was how relaxed he was. I was thinking, oh man, like, went to training ground and stuff, seeing the players. I was thinking, I hope this isn't getting the better of them, because the reason we fell off in recent weeks is because they've all had this eye on the final. They've all been thinking about the final.
Because they've had that up on the screen. It says we have not won a trophy since 1955.
When they walk in the training ground, he's got that on the TV. Yeah, Eddie Howe, he's had that since the start of the season. So everyone's in a really good place. Everyone's relaxed and excited for it, more than nerves. I think that could obviously change in the step out of Wembley. But what Eddie Howe has done is unbelievable, man. Because the players, look at, people want to easily try and point to the money, but the players that scored in the semi-final was Sean Longstaff, local lad, been here for years. Quarter-final, Dan Byrne, signed from Brighton, local lad for £10 million. So you know, I mean, these have been the game changers. Changed Almiron, Joe Linton, the list goes on, and the players he's developed. So Eddie Howe, it could be a big step for him though, because if he ends up getting that first trophy, because there'll always be question marks, won't there, until he plays in Europe, until he wins that trophy. He's not good enough. He's not. Newcastle need to step, need to get a Conti or whatever. You know what I mean? People always say that, but for me, he's been amazing, and I just hope he can get that under his belt, that first cup, give him the confidence and the belief that we can go on and get more.
How do you beat Manchester United right now?
It's difficult because we are struggling for goals. So it's like, I think we will. Eric Ten Hag called us annoying in his press conference yesterday, and I think we're going to have to be that. We're going to have to get in the faces, make it a bit ugly, keep the good defensive record. Obviously the Carriers things, I'm sure we'll get into that, but I would like to see us play our own game and go for it, but it's very risky because we haven't been delivering enough in front of goal. We haven't been scoring enough goals. But I think an early goal could be massive. That old cliche of the first goal, but it really is tomorrow, because Newcastle fans, the flags, Wembley will be bouncing. It'll feel like a home game for the players, because all the Man United fans just be coming from down the road, won't they? Two tube stops for them. Do you know what I mean?
I love that, man.
We've travelled 3 hours on a train, 6 hours on a bus. 2 minutes for Man U fans, you know what I mean? So
allegedly a booze ban as well for Newcastle fans.
Dry trains on the way back for Newcastle fans. So
was that said to the United fans?
Probably not, no, because they'll just be walking home. So it doesn't matter.
No train to get.
No train to get. I think the way we beat them is honestly.
It would help if Rashford's injured as well, because I know you spoke about that yesterday.
Yeah, I would look. Honestly, obviously not wishing injuries on players, but just for tomorrow, it'd be absolutely lovely. To be honest, you know what I mean, absolutely lovely. Because if you take Rashford out of the equation, you're literally taking the majority of Man United's success over the last few weeks. His goals, without them, they've got Weghorst up front. Do you know what I mean? It'd be with Pope being suspended. I think it's only right that Rashford's injured. Level playing field then.
Yeah. Another goal in the Premier League, and it's another one for
Aston Villa and Sean Dyche. Everton are down.
Potentially.
Sean and
Nice to see it.
Wednesday,
good. That's
you're up
against mid-table Aston Villa, who have been very up and down. Don't really have anything to play for. Big opportunity to get a win there.
Believe in Dyche.
No?
It's a good day for Villa. Buen dia.
Oh yeah.
Good day.
Poetry there.
Nah, it's fine. You haven't got it. Just goes over your head like a sleeveless jumper. But going back to Rashford, if he is out, he's the one that scores the goals.
This is why I didn't sit next to him. I was like, Matty's handed in this.
No, Matty loves it. If he is injured, I mean, there's a question to ask of United. Where do the goals come from if he doesn't score? But they did score 2 at home to Barcelona the other night without him. But he was seen limping off though.
I think he's going to be fine.
Is this a typical United tactic?
He's going to be fine. I think he's not missing this.
I'll be so surprised if he's not starting.
So was that for clickbait then?
Yeah.
Wait,
don't hit the player.
Rashford's
out. I'm just reporting the news. Do you know what I mean? Reporting the news.
Yeah. Algorithm hype.
Oh, I love it. But listen, it's going to be an incredible game. Another goal for West Ham, by the way. It's now 4.
What the hell?
Mikel Antonio back amongst the goals.
Mikel Antonio, as Matty says.
My goodness.
Makes it 4-0. Unbelievable there.
We had no goals in the first half. The
floodgates open, isn't it?
Floodgates, that's it. Big win that for West Ham, and the goal difference will help them out massively there as well. Confirmation of Buendia scoring the 81st minute. Let's talk about the team tomorrow, because as we know, I mean, listen, Nick Pope's not playing, gutted for him. Silly mistake against Liverpool. You were in the ground when that happened. What did you think when you saw that?
Do you know what the funny thing was when the ground was like the filter through of the news of the story, because it was Pope's off. Oh well, at least we've got we haven't got the Braff but
Cup tied.
Oh well, we've got Darlow on. Sent Darlow on loan. Who is it in? Oh, it's fucking Karius. Everyone's like, it's Karius.
I would have loved to have seen Karius' reaction to that.
He was in
news.
Italy with his missus.
In Italy? But his phone just started blowing up.
He didn't get back to Newcastle until Tuesday.
So he just
Eddie Howe just let him stay until Tuesday. He just didn't want to disrupt or anything or make things a bit pressurised. He was like, you come back on Tuesday, lad. He rang him on the Saturday night, and then he's like,
do you know what though?
Come back on Tuesday.
I think it could be the biggest redemption story for him. I think for someone who literally had his career broken by that Champions League final, like Liverpool fans, I don't think will ever forgive him. I'm sure even Alex still holds a little bit of a annoyed spot.
How could you not?
Not hatred or anything like that. But there's a little bit of like, you actually cost us something, and we can never replicate that back. For him to now, out of nowhere, he was 4th choice keeper, step into the wilderness. If you lot can deliver this, and he
saves a penalty,
heroic shootout or something, I'm not gonna lie to you, I would love that.
I'd love it.
I would love that for him.
We're talking about Green Street 2, yeah? This is the new Goal movie.
I love it.
This is the new Goal movie. Karius.
I love it, and I think he deserves it.
That is actually a great call. That is actually a great goal.
Balboa, if you're listening to this, Apollo Creed.
But you know, for him to be on holiday, his phone's blowing up. How do you even keep your head for the last few days of that holiday? Because the pressure starts building, and in your head, you're thinking about what happened in the last final.
If I'm him,
do you know what?
There is no real pressure.
And because everyone's already going on as if he's made the mistakes.
Yeah.
Everyone's already saying, well,
everyone's already written me off.
So he could do anything and get love.
If he spills the ball on tomorrow, everyone's like, well, knew that was going to happen. Did it last time.
Yeah.
If he makes a great save early on, builds his confidence up, you know.
I mean, I
don't think it'll come down to anything like that. I don't think he'll have an amazing game, and I don't think he'll have a crap game. I think he'll just be one of them ones. He may concede one or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But obviously, praying he can turn it around. Like, I think it's an amazing story. It has that potential of a fairy tale ending.
Can you imagine if he was the one that made the difference?
Man of the match, Lloris Karius at the end of the game.
The thing that worries me isn't that mistake in the final. Well, obviously it does, but 5 years ago is that he hasn't played a game of football in 2 years.
Yeah.
He hasn't played a competitive game since playing in Germany 2 years ago.
I know.
Was it not in Turkey?
He was in Union Berlin. He had a loan spell
even
there,
they sent him back to Liverpool.
So he played for Besiktas, did all right for a bit, and he had to disrupt with them about wages because they weren't paying the wages of the players. But Karius, though, in that Champions League before the final, he had the most clean sheets that campaign.
Yeah.
Well, he was a decent backup
in the group
for
stage
them.
And stuff. You know
His career got completely written off after
it's all
one.
up there, isn't it? So
Just quickly before we touch a little bit more on Karius and that team, let's get some score predictions for that tomorrow. We're hearing from Shane Malone, Super Chat, just now, big up everyone, Rashford has travelled with the squad. We knew that. But we'll start with Matisse. Is this going to be Matty Renton's day tomorrow?
My heart wants it to be for the Geordies, but my head cannot deny Ten Hag and Rashford. Come on now, really? Yeah, come on. If this was the old Man United under Oli, then yeah, hell yeah, I'd be ready for this. But nah, I think Man United are gonna win this, and I'm gonna go with a 3-1 win. I'm sorry, man.
Renton, you're going to be there. £2,500 spent on a ticket. He's got the apartment in Wembley. He's on Sky, TalkSport, DR Sport. All
I watched them against Barcelona. They're not playing around. Like, he made that substitution at half time. He said, you know what? Weghorst off. On comes Anthony, who, by the way, was really good on the right. Great finish as well. You got to pay him enough respect, because you see Anthony, he's caught a lot of heat, which I think has mainly been due to the price tag, because he's still in his first season. But this boy can shoot. If this brother cuts in, you talk about Saka needing to give us that whip. He's got that whip. You know, and the Wembley pitch is big. That's why I worry for Newcastle. I don't know. It said James, is it the comparison? I'm not sure, but like
that's huge compared to that, man.
Wembley's big, so like you got to cover that ground. And I know they're great defensively, but Man United are going to stretch them out, and it's going to be, you don't want to defend for long periods, which is why I agree with you that you do need to actually put your stamp on the game. If you think you're going to just defend like you did at the Emirates the whole game, nah, I don't think so.
Waste time.
Score prediction.
Karius.
I like that.
To do what?
1-1 penalty shootout.
Oof.
Wow.
1-1 penalty shootout. I'm not going to even say Karius is going to be the hero. Man United is going to blaze him over the bar.
Fair enough.
I'm going to go penalty win for Newcastle. Let's go.
I'm going for a Newcastle win.
Yes.
Up the mugs. How are the lads? Why not? 2-1. Fuad?
Extra time heartbreak.
For me.
For Eddie's boys. I'm sorry, man.
Well, do you know what?
I think the whole reason why they brought in the likes of Casemiro and Varane, I don't feel like you bring those kind of characters in to fumble this type of game. And I'm like, and I genuinely think your form over the last couple of weeks is. I know they say forms goes out of the window, but I do think it could kind of veer over into this. I think you lot will make a game of it though and take it to extra time at least, but then some Rashford dagger's gonna come out of nowhere. I
just feel like Newcastle in January could have just done a couple.
We've fucked it. I think
Newcastle and Arsenal in January annoyed me.
Honestly, the top 4 chance was we got arguably weaker in January.
We
let Shelby go, didn't replace him. As much as I don't like Chris Wood, didn't replace him. Gordon and a winger who didn't really need that much of a position. We needed a centre mid. Before we let Shelby go, we needed a centre mid
anyway.
And then we let Shelby go and didn't replace him. One injury, another injury or suspension to Bruno Guimaraes.
Well, they are our predictions for tomorrow's massive game. We've got it on DR Sports for you as well from 4 o'clock. But let us know what your thoughts are in the chat. What is that score going to be tomorrow? And with the news that Loris Karius will play for Newcastle tomorrow in the final versus Manchester United, on the train down, it got me thinking there's a massive chance for him to redeem his own career, to get payback for what was an awful UCL final horror show. But it got me thinking, what are the best redemption stories in football?
Drogba.
Good question.
No. Sent off in Moscow. He would have taken that penalty that John Terry didn't take. That John Terry did take and slipped.
Scored the winner in 12.
And then scored the winner in Munich. And he got the equaliser as well. That is redemption.
That's one. Let me give you some. And you might like these, right? Jonas Gutierrez.
Yes.
Got cancer for Newcastle. Yes. Came back last day of the season, scored the goal to keep them up.
Wow.
That's a round of applause on its own.
Because Mike Ashley was like, now not to give me
unbelievable
because of the cancer.
That was crazy.
Yeah, you win.
Yeah, it does. By the way, big up to Jonas Gutierrez. Unbelievable
legend,
moment.
Man.
Zambia. Sounds a bit strange, bit left field, but hear me out. They won the 2012 African Cup of Nations, and that in itself was an improbable tale, because 19 years before that, in 1993, horrifically, 18 members of Zambia's national team died in a plane crash while flying to Senegal for a World Cup qualifying match. So for them, years later, 19 years on, to actually go and win it, unbelievable redemption story. And I think if there's not a film made of that, there should be.
There should be.
David Beckham, sent off in World Cup 98. Vilified, burning effigies of this man all up and down the streets of England. But then in 2002, and even before that, scores that free kick against Greece to send England back to the 2002 World Cup, and then scores a penalty against Argentina and Diego Simeone, etc., to win that game. Ronaldo, il fenomeno, right? What a moment this was in 2002, where he redeemed his own career, because 4 years previous to that, of course, he got a horrendous knee injury that actually, there was rumours he wouldn't start the final in 98. They said after he lost that to France, they said, how do you come back from this? He said, I don't know, I'll just have to win the World Cup in 2002. And what did he do? Won 2-0, and he scored both goals in the final.
Unreal.
Bro, unbelievable redemption story. Golden boot and everything.
Incredible. For me, that's the best one. I don't know how you can overlook that one. What Ronaldo was before that 98 World Cup, he was literally what we see Mbappe today, that generation wonder kid. You almost, the first edition of a FIFA player in my eyes.
Yeah.
The things he was doing at PSV, Barca, and then the Inter the first year, you were thinking, this guy is fake. Wins 2-time World Player of the Year. And then, I remember, because the 98 World Cup was like my first footballing memory. And I thought, this guy is unreal. I can't wait to watch him. Then my dad just keeps telling me every week, oh yeah, he's got a knee injury. He's going to be back in a few months. 2 years go by. 3 years go by. Now we're at like 2001. I'm like, I ain't seen this guy since 98. Was he a figment of my imagination? Was he even real? 2002. I think he'd only played like a few games leading up to the World Cup.
But
he wasn't even like
important.
match fit. Yeah. He just rocks up with his funny little trim as well. Like in hindsight now, we look at the trim like it's legendary.
Yeah.
When he did it, everyone's like,
all school kids were getting it done.
All laughing at him because
parents were fuming.
Yeah, like that was the era of like haircuts. Beckham and him were taking over. Yeah, Ljungberg. Yeah. They were taking over with that stuff. But then he comes, gold group stages tears it up. Knockout stages defines it. Semi-final gets them through to the final. As you said, gets to 2 goals in the final. And you're just reminded, this guy is the best. Yeah, like that's why I feel like there's this whole generation of kids who, no matter if you've seen Maradona, Ronaldo, Messi, Ronaldinho, they will still tell you R9's the best they've ever seen.
Love that. Listen, I'm going to name a few just to rattle through them, and you send me some more because we are approaching.
You brought a tear to my eye there.
I'm telling you, man, that's one of those. It made me actually fall in love with football.
A minute to go here at the King Power before Arsenal confirm their 3 points, but I'm going to give you some more.
Full time down road as well.
Full time at Leeds, brilliant to see them getting 3 points. Maybe not if you're a Leeds fan. Fernando Torres.
I was going to say that when you mentioned Drogba.
Right? Vilified at Chelsea. Didn't do anything in the first 6 months. But a year later, just over a year later, scores that goal to take you into the final of the Champions League with that Gary Neville commentary famous goal away at Barca.
The reason why that's not as high anywhere near Drogba's is because we were going through anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
people love to gas up that goal. Ramirez already done the thing.
If we weren't going through, bang, cool. But we were actually on. We were going through on away goals. So
Gary Neville's commentary adding bit extra sauce to that, man.
That's
like it wasn't a great goal. It wasn't a momentous goal.
I remember celebrating. I was doing a madness because I was like, finally it's over. But it wasn't like.
What about this one?
Yeah.
Eric Cantona. Right, banned for 8 months for kicking that Crystal Palace fan. Comes back, scores the winner in the FA Cup final against Liverpool in '96.
He just had the talent.
He literally kicked a kid.
Why are we celebrating him? He was injured.
Kick a kid.
He did kick a kid. No,
we don't celebrate abusers.
He did. Mo Salah, sold by Chelsea, comes back to redeem himself at Liverpool.
You know what? That is an underrated one. I will say that because yes, when Chelsea got him out, it was backdoor. Go to Roma, man. We don't care. Come back and broke the record. Yeah, that was nasty.
That's redemption.
That was
full time at the King Power. Arsenal have wrapped it up there with 3 points. 1-0 win.
Arsenal fans absolutely bouncing after that result.
We'll get him next time.
We'll get West Ham as well. Full time at West Ham. 4-0 win over Forest.
Result, that one. One more for you before we round it off.
I've got one more. Go on. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah. Had him down on the list.
Germany where he missed one and
96 was for England against
Comes
Spain.
back, has the balls to take the penalty, puts it in.
Lionel Messi.
Oh, God.
4 Copa America defeats, finals, retires from international football. I know you hate Messi. You call him a jumped-up hormone.
Speak on it, Alex.
whatever.
Speak on it. Leave
Have
this
some
guy.
Respect.
Leave
How
this
dare
hater.
you snore right now. You're coming like my dog. That's what Gus does.
Sorry. So you say something?
You didn't like that one then, no? Right. Cheers,
You're
please,
such a hater,
man.
Such a Ronaldo stan. Listen, I'm a
hates
Messi
Messi,
guy.
bro.
Feed me more.
4 Copa America defeats. In the interview after the last defeat, he said, "I'm retiring. This losing stuff is not for me."
Yes.
Julian Alvarez writes him a letter to say, "Come back, bro. We need you." He didn't even know him from Adam at this stage. Then wins the World Cup with him, and they've also won Finalissima as well with him. So that's 3.
They made up a trophy.
Yeah, they basically did. Which didn't exist before. But there you go.
Messi, we know you can't win, but we'll make one up for you.
Listen, he's got a Copa America and he's got a World Cup.
Quick one before we wrap it up.
Hold that.
You clocked the game. Well done.
Hold that. You know he's completed the game. Because I remember talking to you about this World Cup final coming up, and you were like, "Yeah,
He was
I
horrible
want
about
France to win it because I don't want anybody to feel like they've completed football. It will ruin all the
Evil
debates.
man, really,
It will be
when you think about
over.
it.
Mbappe, villain arc.
And let me tell you now, Matisse, who is ever going to surpass Messi?
Nobody. That's the way we like it.
There you
Football
go.
ruined.
That's the way we like it.
Mbappe. 3 World Cups. We're coming.
Mbappe.
Right, so they are some of the biggest redemption stories in football. Keep them coming in. I know we're live right now, but even if you're not watching this live, keep sending them in. We love to read them. But this all ties back to Loris Karius. Can he pull off one of the... do you know what? If it does happen, it's one of the biggest redemption stories in football.
Facts. We'll be doing this show 20 years' time. Someone else,
Talking
maybe
about,
someone else
yeah.
podcast or something.
Talking about that.
I remember Carriers came back from nowhere. Hopefully.
Well, there you go. It's full time in all of the Premier League games now. Everton a crushing home defeat, losing 2-0 to Aston Villa. Leeds, massive 3 points for them. Junior Firpo scoring in the 70th minute. Leicester 0, Arsenal 1. Massive result for Arsenal. Gabriel Martinelli scoring the goal. And West Ham beating Forest 4-0. Arsenal now 57 points to Manchester City's 52. They take that 5-point gap again. What a show it's been today, gents. I really can't stress. That's one of my favourite shows we've done of the Saturday Football Show here on DR Sports. Don't forget the new channel, On Track GP, coming very soon for all your F1 content. We've got Matisse and Abby and Robbie and a whole host of other names on that channel. Really looking forward to all that content when it comes out. Pinned in the chat to subscribe, guys. We've made it super easy for you, so make sure that you press that button and subscribe and show some love to the guys. Also tomorrow, Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, massive watch along from 9 with Robbie, Laurie, Nick and Kane. And before that, we've got Manchester United versus Newcastle United at Wembley in the Carabao Cup final. Myself, AGT, hosting that one. We've got Big Ogs and we've got, is it Ogs or Uggs?
Uggs.
And Uggs, and we've got Kojo as well. And if that wasn't enough, we've got Tottenham Chelsea as well tomorrow. So there isn't really any need for you to turn away from DR Sports tomorrow.
There's no need for you to go outside.
You know, from 1 o'clock till midnight, you're covered, really, with quality sporting content.
That is a Super Sunday.
That is a Super Sunday, if I don't say so myself. Right. Thank you so much for all of your contributions today, gents. Matisse, big round of applause for you today.
That might be my new thing now.
Looking forward to Newcastle playing tomorrow night. What a weekend it could be for this man right here, by the way.
Be back.
I'm holding on for Newcastle to...
my God! Is it every week now? It's every week! What is this? What are you doing? What is this? What are you doing? Where are you going? Brother! Huh? Yo!
Tomorrow. Good luck tomorrow.
Wow.
Jordan's tomorrow, isn't it, Robbie?
Yeah, you good.
Listen. You got another 3 points. Listen, we go again next week. We go again.
Big win for the Gooners, right?
5 points, mate.
Yeah, brilliant.
You alright, bro?
Yeah.
He came in like Nunes. He came in like Nunes. Not discreet, nothing, fam. Chaos. Coming in.
Don't forget, Bournemouth play Man City very shortly as well. But what a show it's been on the Saturday Football Show. We almost, before Robbie interjected, we almost didn't say thanks to Fuad as well. Big up to you as always, my bro.
Our Scandinavian brother.
Right. I've been AGT. You've been watching DR Sports. This has been the Saturday Football Show. Take care, and we'll see you next week. All the best, and up the mugs.
Up the mugs.
I think we should do that.
Don't forget, this Sunday at 9 o'clock, join DR Sports for the big fight. It's Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul. Who do you think is going to win, Laurie?
I'm leaning towards Jake Paul.
Jake Paul?
I'm leaning towards only
Jake Paul beating
only because it's a Jake Paul promotion.
Join us this week and you will find out who is going to win. 9 o'clock here on DR Sports, Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury.